infrastructure is crumbling this evening as the Nintenbyte Podcast continues its unprecedented rise. In cities across the globe, fans are rioting. The Pentagon has issued a statement describing the Nintenbyte Podcast network as a pixel-based prophecy. Some say the rise was foretold, others say it's just a really good podcast. We're talking twisted nipples, milk, and a sock puppet who doesn't talk.
It's dangerous to go alone. Watch this.
Welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, bitch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the greatest Nintendo podcast ever! Yeah!
Is that a Joy-Con in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Shut up! Now feel the power. Everyone, do you feel that?
Oh my god, I feel it!
I feel it too, GameBird. What is it? It's the power of our podcast.
I feel it!
This is rad, Nintenbyte.
So rad.
Power. Now bask in their glory.
I'm Nintendo Prime. Oh baby.
I'm ThunderStash.
I'm GameBird Classic.
Nintenbyte rules.
Let's rock.
Everyone, that was really good.
Fantastic.
That was perfect. That's our season 3 intro. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast. I actually kind of messed up, so you know what? Everyone now knows we have a new logo. It's pretty cool. We don't have any way to show it off yet. Well, now that it's been shown publicly, we'll just start updating everything with it. The thumbnail doesn't have. I didn't actually mean to play that one, but it is what it is. So new logo. Good to go.
Yeah.
Surprise. Not exactly how we were planning on that reveal, but you know, I make mistakes. It happens. Anyways, I guess I could mention there is a bunch of new merch for it as well that we can't show off because it hasn't arrived yet, but it's in the store. Yeah. If you want to go check it out, I didn't take it down because I wasn't worried about it because nobody knew and nobody shops there. But then now people know, so now people might go look at all the merch. Anyways, whatever. There's a whole bunch of new merch. We have a whole bunch coming in. Whatever. Get used to the logo so that way you can recognize us if you go to PAX West, I guess. So there you go. Because we'll probably be rocking those shirts there. That being said, folks, welcome. It is episode 11. We got a jam-packed show for you today. We got 3 really massive topics, and who knows what the 4th one's going to be because it's a dealer's choice. But let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. Probably should do this right because right now it's like, you know, we have 3 hosts at the top and then a guest. Eric, get your ass up here. All right.
Just boot ATV off.
Get out of there. Anyway, we attack the backlogs here. How you doing, man?
Oh, good, man. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. It's an honor, pleasure to be here. Good to see you again. Excited. We got a lot to talk about. So, yeah, very excited, definitely.
We do have a lot to talk about, including the crowd trying to remind me. So I've seen it. Several comments. We had a bit of a wild live stream last night, and that has led to me having to start this one taking an Eddie. So,
oh, damn.
That's what it is. It's sativa. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time.
I just hit the pen during that intro, so we're good.
Dude, I got the snacks ready to go when this kicks in. It's going to be nice. Darren's here.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
You want to remind anyone who you are? Because
Nobody knows.
Before you say anything, does anybody watching know who he is? Who's
Oh, that's interesting.
Who's an old school either Zelda informer or original Nintendo Prime podcast fan? Like, this is going way back. I don't know if there's anyone that's even watching that long.
I see HMK with his hand up. All right.
The HMK probably remembers back in those days. Yeah.
Yep. I know he does.
Back at Zelda Informer, we were heavily promoting a lot of YouTubers that were doing theory content.
Oh yeah.
Man, even before I was doing YouTube, I was like reading up every day. Zelda Informers, all those sites. Links Hideaway. So like,
Links Hideaway. Oh,
yeah.
man. We're going on a nostalgia trip now. Holy shit.
But anyway, yeah, I was a managing editor at Zelda Informer, and then eventually editor-in-chief at Zelda Dungeon, and now I come on this podcast every once in a while, and also helped write articles for the ill-fated NintendoPrime.net. So
yeah, about that.
Look, as you know, nothing's gonna make it if I'm not fully dedicated, and I wasn't fully dedicated.
Oh, I know, neither was I, so it was fine.
Anyways, I guess for the last podcast ever, I'll drink out of the old mug because I have the new ones here. They did arrive. I didn't have them down here because I wasn't planning to reveal the logo today. But hey, I'm gonna crack a beer later, and I'm gonna enjoy it out of that cup for one last time before I retire it to the background. Because now, technically, as of today, accidentally, this is now a classic logo,
Collector's edition,
collector's
Retro
edition.
logo.
Limited. That's right. So if you want to get some of the old merch, you better get it now because I'm gonna have to take them down. None of the new logos out there. Anyways, moving on. God, I feel bad. Podcast host, are you gonna yell at me for fucking up? Because I feel bad. I fucked up.
No.
What?
I'm just confused, man.
Dude, that's been my whole week. I'm so confused right now. What the fuck's going on?
So much for nothing.
Right? Like, all this planning we put into it is just fucking out there.
You know what?
Oh no.
You know, I could take that power away, bastard.
I know you can. I know. You can.
Anyways,
Wait, what the hell? There we go.
all right, let's get to the next one. We have HMK, aka the Slippery Dippery.
That's me. What's up, guys? It's really good to be back. You know, I was supposed to be back a couple of like weeks and podcasts ago, but like my name, I'm the Slippery Dippery. Things happen. I got to slip out, slip back in. But I was telling Nintendo Prime that today is gonna be like the first time that I'm gonna be seated for the whole thing because I've cleared out my whole schedule. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm in there.
That's exciting. I wasn't sure if I should believe you when you said that. I was
I don't blame you. Like it's like, something came up. It's like, I swear.
And he's gonna be like, I'm out. I'm like, all right.
No, I'm in here for the long. I got my beverage. I'm chilling. I'm wearing slippers right now. I'm vibing.
There we go. So then we got the sock puppet himself.
Yep.
Eric
makes sense now. HMK. And then Spice Lord.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, someone from last night. Yep.
Nice.
So he's doing a heat check.
Extra.
Doing the heat check on this. By the way, chat, no shots for me tonight, but I'm gonna crack a beer a little bit later. That said, let's get to our next person. We have GameBird Classic.
What's up, baby? Glad to be here. Another epic night. Some more epic news. A lot of stuff to be excited about. Let's get those nipples twisted and those
purple nurples
predictions flowing, my friends. Like the milk of the Nintendo teat.
Man, we're only like 10 minutes in. This shit's off the rails. ThunderStash, who's apparently in his prime.
That's right. How we doing? Busy week, as always. A lot of games, a lot of stuff going on. Got some new games I'm playing right now. Got a game I'm playing that nobody's talking about. It just came out.
All right.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, wow.
I'm still not going to talk about it, but it already came out. Oh.
I'm working on the review. Yeah. So it'll come, but
leave them on pins and needles.
Yep.
I'm excited. Getting these topics today.
All right, guys, and I'm Nintendo Prime. You know what's up. Today we're gonna be doing some pretty cool stuff. We have indie showcase things to go over, some predictions or whatever we feel like for that, and then a little conversation on that supposed Phase 3 thing. We'll get to that as well. Beyond that, I don't even have the thing open. What was the other topics? One of them had to do with sales. Right, we got this is the first sales data for Switch 2 officially from Nintendo for their opening quarter, or in this case, the opening month. Although they gave a little data into July, they didn't really clarify. It said 7 weeks. I'm confused. So we'll talk about that then. And then we also have Nintendo raising prices again. So, we haven't really talked about that. So that's going to be a fun one. And then whatever the hell the dealer's choice ends up being. So, let's just go order from right to left. Eric, what topic do you want?
Should we start with the bad?
Well, it's up to you. Start with whatever you want.
And go with the price increases.
Oh boy. Let's just chase the viewers away now. Got it.
Right? Oh boy.
That's all right. Well, that means there's going to be a good end. GameBird, which one do you want?
I think I'm going to soar into Nintendo's sales data. Switch 2's sales data to be more specific.
Sure. All right. ThunderStash.
I'll take the. What do you want? What do you want, Nate? I mean, I can take topic 1, but do you have a possible?
I have a surprise for topic 1.
I provided a great dealer's choice.
Did you? I didn't read it. To be honest, I didn't read it.
Did you put it in the Twitter?
It just said. It just says, "Yep."
Yeah, that's all I see.
Yeah. Oh no. It was a great.
Oh, I remember what that was.
Yep.
Never mind.
I think you should just bring that up as a joke topic.
That was a great topic.
Maybe a bonus topic if we have time.
Yeah. We'll see what we have time for. I'll do topic 1. Then Nate, you can give your whatever the surprise is, and we'll see if we even get to 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Because the surprise is like the beginning of the topic.
You know what we need to do though?
What's that?
Oh boy.
We need to call out something real quick. Now, I should probably share this because we got to celebrate something that just happened.
Okay.
Let me pull this up.
This is sweet because I don't even know what this is. Surprise for me.
I have no idea.
I just saw it and I'm like, it's not video game related, but it sort of is. So let me get this pulled up. Let me hit the share screen here. Right here. Skyward Alyssa.
Oh, nice.
Skyward Alyssa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
congrats.
Now let me show you how this is video game related. Check out that ring.
That's sick.
That is a Triforce ring.
Nice. We got the Triforce going on.
That's awesome.
Bro, I was like, no way.
Man.
That is so
congrats to Alyssa.
Yeah. She's
congrats.
becoming guest on our show. Thank you. Oh man, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Just
awesome.
Yeah.
Just had to share that. I saw that. I was like, no way. I saw that ring. I'm like, dude, that is epic.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is sick. That is sick. All right. Well, that leaves me with dealer's choice. So that's what I got. That being said, Eric, what the hell are we talking about?
Give me 2 seconds.
Oh no.
Bailed.
No, actually, I meant to do it at the beginning. But
You
know what? Preview.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He's got to wear that for a day at PAX. Because he lost
You have to put the headphones like from behind, like this.
or underneath. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Preview. All right. So.
Keep going.
Yep. Okay. We now have a list of everything that Nintendo has increased the price on. And some additional products as well. So I suppose I can probably share this. That'll probably help.
Sure.
Let's hear this.
Bring her on in, buddy.
Here.
So the story is obviously Nintendo's increased prices.
Yep.
As of Sunday.
Yep.
In the US.
Correct. Shout out to Nintendo Everything for the list here. Okay, so now here's the list of prices here. The old Switch OLED has gone to $400, was $350. The standard Switch is now $340, it was $300. The Switch Lite is $230, it was $200. Joy-Cons are now $90, they were $80. Pro Controller is $80, it was $70. The NES controller pack is $70 now, it was $60. The N64 controller is $55, was $50, and the SNES controller was $35, or is $35, and it was $30. So it looks like on the accessories, it's a $5 to $10 increase, and then you got your $40 to $50 increases on $30 to $50 increases on your consoles.
Yep, there's more.
What? Oh, there is. Oh shit!
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, I know.
There's
That's
just a gigantic gap here. That's why I was
an ad there. That's
perfect.
That's
That makes sense. Yep. No, that makes sense. No. Okay. For the Switch 2, Joy-Con charging stand is $35. It was $30. The Pro Controller is now $90. It was $85. Joy-Con 2s are now $100. They were $95. Dock set is $125. They were $120. For Amiibos, wow. Legacy Amiibos are $20. They were $16. 2-pack Amiibos, $35 or $40, depending on which ones. They were $30. The other things, the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo is now $110. They were $100. And then the United States is not the only country impacted by these changes.
Yeah.
And then there's Canada with
Canada had their price changes.
Their stuff changes.
Including MSO that went up for them too.
Oof. Ouch. So, what do we think about this? Are we upset? Yes or no?
Just a question: is the Switch Online price increases only in Canada?
Only in Canada.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Now, to be fair, if you do the exchange rate in Canada, they were paying less than we were for NSO technically.
Okay.
Yeah, their currency's all. I don't know what's going on with international currencies.
Something about Joy-Con going from 95 to 100. I know it's only $5, but those three numbers really make it
that's
seem like,
crazy
wow.
for a controller.
Yeah.
Like $100 for a controller. That's wild.
I know. I bought an extra set at launch, and I'm just like,
thank God I did.
I mean, good thing I got my Pro controller before the price increase. Because
by the way, I still think the Pro Controller 2s are still at the original price they had at Costco, which was already lower, and now it just feels even lower. The Costco didn't change the price, so that's now the best place. It already was the best place. Now it's really the best place to get Joy-Con 2s, or I'm sorry, not Joy-Con, the Pro Controller, the new one. But I assume that price will probably go up eventually. But for now, I'm fine with Costco not putting the price up. Thank you. Thank you. I might have to go get a second Pro Controller right now before it does go up. So my thoughts are obviously we're talking about Nintendo increasing prices. We all know, the due to market conditions, and they in their announcement they did note that they basically, without saying it, said they're probably going to raise prices on Switch 2 down the line, just not right now. And I got a feeling they'll probably hold the price on Switch 2 through the first holiday and deal with a price increase in 2026 if they feel like they have to, or if the market conditions change. I'm sure that's what they really hope, is that it comes back down. Because, look, the number one selling SKU of the thing's already $500. And that SKU is magically no longer going to be around after the holidays. So, kind of a convenient time to maybe jump the price $50. I gotta say that my personal thoughts is obviously them having to raise the prices isn't obviously entirely their fault. But I'll also say when it comes to the Switch 1 stuff, especially, they've kind of made their money on Switch 1, in my opinion. Like, I know that this has been a weird generation. Like, Xbox and PlayStation have both gone up in price when we're used to have prices going down. Like, everything's doing the opposite of what we're used to at this point. And like Switch 1, it really feels like the price should be going down. We have Switch 2 out. So I know there's obviously different economic situations happening now compared to what we're used to. But I also think that Nintendo probably could have ate it on the Switch 1s, even if they were being sold for a loss. I don't know if they were, but if they were, due to all the economic changes, because they're going to make that back on software sales because they already have a huge install base. So like when Pokemon ZA drops this upcoming holiday, it's going to sell like crazy on Switch 1. It's going to do huge numbers. So like they don't really need to also profit off the Switch. Like they could just have that be break even or make a little less, because they're not going to sell. That's not going to be the number one system selling this holiday anyways. It's not like they're going to go out there and sell 5 million Switch 1s this holiday. No, it's going to be 5 million, 6 million, whatever Switch 2s. So I kind of feel like they could have ate the cost, especially on the Switch itself. I also think there's other choices they could have made, like maybe don't have 3 SKUs for Switch 1 anymore. You already have Switch 2 out. Get rid of maybe the middle SKU. Just leave the OLED and the Switch Lite. Or if you want to make people feel better price-wise, get rid of the OLED then, I guess, and just leave the Switch Lite in the original. But anyways, I feel like they could have did that. and consumers would have been okay with it. Like I'm not that mad about like seeing Switch 2 accessory prices go up. One, they're already stupidly expensive, but two, they're also like new products already. Like these are already new products, and like this market's just changing like crazy. I know the yen's doing really terrible for them, so the exchange rates there are bad. All the new tariff situations. So I get raising prices on new modern products because I think people are going to have their eyes really blown wide open when they see what the PlayStation 6 ggets announced at. Because that price, I think that price is going to shock a lot of people. It's possible. I don't want to say that, but it's probably,
man. Those quadruple numbers, that's what game is going to get to.
It won't be cheaper than the PS5 Pro. I'll tell you that. That's like your best hope is that they only charge $700. It's going to be able to be more than that. So everything's going up. And it's going to start really hitting a lot of our consumer stuff. I think at some point next year, we're going to start seeing prices really start skyrocketing on things. So, and it already has in some situations. So I feel like I understand it. I hate it. If it was only affecting Nintendo, then I would be like, Nintendo, you're an evil corporation. Fuck you. But everyone's increasing prices. It's not just them. So this is like a market-wide issue. So for now, I'm just happy that Switch 2 games and consoles aren't going up because that's pretty much what most people are going to be interested in moving forward. So I guess the price went up on a system that has low demand. I guess I'm okay, but I don't like it. And I think Nintendo could have ate it if they wanted to. But anyone else got thoughts?
Yeah. GameBird, go for it. Yeah, go for it, GameBird.
I think it's a bummer. You know, seeing hardware that's 8 years old, getting a price bump, it sucks. You know, we've gone this long without a price drop, and honestly, I think the better story would have been the price drop, and it would have been a boost to those numbers. Let's get past that 160 million. You know, let's make Switch the best selling console of all time. I saw a gateway to that drop in the price. Not sure I see a path to that with a price increase, unfortunately. This one baffles me less than the Microsoft situation. When Microsoft, like when you have a console that you could barely get off the shelf, I don't know how a price. I feel like you just take the losses and you focus your R&D on what you have planned next, whether it's their handheld or a next home console. So that one's especially baffling. This isn't quite as bad as that, but you know, it's a bummer to see. It's another nudge to push people towards a Switch 2, I suppose, which I don't think this was a calculated move by Nintendo to do that. I don't believe that at all. But, you know, I definitely think people are going to think twice about picking up a Switch 1 going forward. Now that we've got the latest and greatest out and, you know, that price is bumped up. As far as Switch 2 goes, again, it sucks anytime the price of anything goes up. Obviously, Nintendo wasn't planning on this. No one wants to, you know, within a year of their console being out, bump up the prices as you're trying to keep the momentum and get those units out there. So I think if this was the plan all along, they would have just launched at a higher price and not had this, you know, bad press, I suppose. But yeah, things are getting expensive. The accessories, the $5 bumps aren't that bad, but I mean, HMK put it into perspective with the $100 controller. It's expensive, man, especially for a controller that might be susceptible to Joy-Con drift. We don't quite know yet.
Give it another week or two.
You know, yeah, we'll find out in time. But, you know, at the end of the day, like Nate, I mean, you spelled it out pretty clearly. I feel like, you know, the market, you know, economic stuff going on right now around the world has really shaken things up. And, I think I don't know. It's one of those unfortunate things that's never fun to report on. I think as long as Switch 2 continues to put out killer apps, and you know, if we get, you know, an Ocarina of Time remake next year or the next big 3D Mario and some great games, I don't think this is really going to slow down their momentum too much, even if they have to give a little bump to the cost. But we'll find out. I'm hoping this doesn't affect the games, because I feel like if anything, that would be the harder sell to consumers. As you know, Mario Kart going up to $90, you know, Donkey Kong going up to $80. That would be the harder and scarier sell, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they can delay any sort of Switch 2 price increase for as long as possible, and hopefully the markets change. Things kind of have a turnaround, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. How about Darren? What do you think about this stuff?
Well, I'm mad I didn't buy a Pro controller before this happened.
Yep.
Because I really enjoyed the first Pro controller, and this one looks amazing.
Just have a friend who has a Costco membership. Still time.
There we go. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but understandable. I mean, given the market conditions like we've talked about, I really can't see them raising the price of the Switch 2. They really can't. I mean, I know it's selling very well, but it's just so hard to justify that. I really think that you tack on another $50 on that price tag, and I really think that like a family would think a little bit more about whether they really need it or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's people that are already at the price that's currently out. Just people I've talked to that haven't bought their kids or one yet because it's just, hey, maybe we'll get with the light model. Maybe we can see something in the 300s. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen in this current economy. You're thinking might be 400, and that's wild to even think about. But of course, for right now, the system's 450, so it could be in the 300s somewhere, based on current pricing. Because the bottom line is the Switch 2 price hasn't gone up. There's no guarantee it ever does go up. I clearly think Nintendo would like it not to. So we'll see. Obviously, software sale momentum will help them as well. I mean, we're at the beginning of a gen, so software sales are always a little lower. But hopefully that momentum really picks up this holiday, and then maybe Nintendo just thinks it's best to eat it and hope that it bounces back in a couple of years. But we'll see. Let's toss it on over to HMK.
The whole situation really, really sucks. There's so many, variables and aspects that are affecting the price increases when it comes to all this legacy Switch stuff. Which when I first saw that the console price was going up, I'm just lamenting. We're what, 8 years? This year's 7. Next year's gonna be year 8, right? Of Switch 1. And I'm always thinking to myself, it's man, remember back in the day where consoles went down in price as time went on instead of going up? And, y'all were saying earlier in the chat that, this wasn't a calculated move, but it could have just fell onto Nintendo's cards in order to have people, basically, graduate themselves from Switch 1 into Switch 2 is if I'm going to shell out this much money for a Switch 1, especially with the price increase, might as well just either save a little bit more, shell a little bit more, go the extra mile, get a Switch 2. Switch 2 does everything that Switch 1 does and more, right? And I definitely agree with the idea that Nintendo absolutely doesn't want to increase the price. They're probably just like every other company faced with this situation, they're probably heavily considering that they do need to increase the Switch 2 price due to the market conditions and everything else that's going on and whatnot. But they have way too much to lose if they do so before the holiday season. And, eating so much money from now until December, 4 months, it would be a lot better on their cards. And hopefully if everything regulates, let's see, lack of a better term, by the time after the holiday season, it's a lot better for them to eat that loss and then have everyone, or not everyone, but more people have a Switch 2 in their arms in order to basically go for your wallet through the games, because that's the main plan. A lot of people keep thinking that the console is that's what the main moneymaker is. No, the games is, if the console is in your hand, then that means that Nintendo or whoever else is selling a console like a PlayStation or Xbox, as long as the console is in your hand, then they have a gorilla grip on your wallet for the next 8 years, right? In way more ways than you can expect. Now we got games. Now we got NSO subscriptions. Now we got controllers that are going to be costing $100, So it's way better for them, and they know this because, like, come on, they did it already with the Switch One. They know this, that like, oh, it's better to eat the loss with their brand new bouncing baby boy console into the holiday season in order to make sure that whatever salvageable what do you call it, positive word of mouth they can get with everything that's been going on with the past couple months since release, they can have that positive word of mouth, have everyone as much as they could, in terms of like whatever they're foreseeing in their sales forecast, have them have Switch 2s, and then like hopefully that positive word of mouth is like, hey, I love my Switch 2, I should get one, and then person A tells person B, and person B tells person C through F. They all have Switch 2s, and then that's more games to be sold to those people, and then blah blah blah. So as long as they eat the loss during that segment, it's gonna pay positively for them in the long run. So, and they know this, so that's why hopefully they don't increase the price, but I don't see them increasing the price before the holiday season, like y'all are saying.
I think another thing to note too is one of the strengths of the Nintendo Switch is that it's a console that you want to have a multi-console household. If you have a family,
Right.
everyone wants their own Switch. It's not like PlayStation or Xbox where you have one in the living room because it's a console you could take with you on the go. Everyone wants their own. So raising the price on Switch 2, it hurts that. It's like, well, is it feasible to have 2 or 3 Switches in the house? It's $550 now, or $575 now. Maybe we'll just have one Switch, and you guys can all share it. So I think it would be to their betterment to keep the price down for as long as possible.
Okay. Who hasn't talked on this yet?
Attack the Backlog.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man, I echo a lot of what you guys saying. I think it's lame. I'll start by saying, well, if they're going to raise the prices, then I'm glad the brunt of it went to the Switch 1 and those accessories rather than the Switch 2. But like, how many people are buying Switch 1s now? Like, the sales have slowed down so much that I wasn't sure if it was going to beat the PS2 anyway. I thought it maybe would have. But now, like GameBird was saying, if they're raising the price of $30-$40, that's really, really going to really make it hard for it to overtake the PS2. So then in that case, even less people are buying it. So then how much are they really saving by having those increases? And so what that does to me, it makes me worried that the current increase we've got on the Switch 2 are going to go up in the future. Not like you guys are saying, I don't see it this year, and I don't know necessarily about the console, but maybe they raise the price by $10, $20. I don't know. But the games worry me. The accessories worry me that they could go up further. The NSO for sure, I imagine, will go up further next year. That kind of stuff really worries me. And I think by raising the prices just slightly on the Switch 2 stuff, I think we'll forget about it in a week or two. But then that means down the line they can increase it again by another $10, and it's kind of like, oh, it's just going up another $10, and you kind of forget it's already gone up another 6 months ago. And so that all of that kind of worries me about it. And I don't know, with the Switch 1 is weird because I remember reading when it came out, I thought they were, unlike Sony and Microsoft, who usually make losses on their consoles, I think the Switch 1 was making like a small profit. Wasn't like just about over breaking even. But like you guys said, it's in its 8th year now. So like the cost must have come down heavily for manufacturing that console now. So I don't know. So like I'm glad that they put most of the increases on the Switch 1, but I am worried for post December, January, how much more these prices are going to go up, because I expect they will. And then if we start talking about the new cartridges, like, are they going to be more expensive? What happens if Call of Duty comes and it has to be on like I don't know what size cartridge that has to be on? If it comes on a cartridge, how much will that game cost? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that worry me. Not right now, but in about 6 months' time.
Developers, compress your games.
Yeah, but optimize your games better. Absolutely.
Yeah. The Apex Legends jumping file size from
75 gigs. That's insanity.
Split Fiction's like 69 on the Switch 2, which is insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you play on other systems, guys, this is how big they are. It is what it is. Like Switch 2 is, it's hitting with the big boys. So the big file sizes are coming. Let me just say, they better get that 2 terabyte SD Express out like sometime
Right.
next year because my 1 terabyte's basically full. It would be full if I installed all of my Switch One games. So, oh man,
Right.
I mean, literally, I had the 1 terabyte full on Switch One, so I needed more storage.
Yeah,
and then it doesn't exist.
Stash Man.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been an interesting topic, obviously. My take on the price increase on 8-year-old hardware. Obviously, it's not something you do lightly. I really believe that Nintendo went through a lot of internal deliberation before making this call. Nobody wants to raise prices on aging products. It's never ideal. Obviously, we know that's usually the opposite of how the console life cycle works. That's always how it's been. And, we're seeing the price drops at this point. And I think that's something that we've all talked about on this podcast, is that was something Nintendo's had in their back pocket, right? Is that, hey, this is how they're actually going to pass the DS. And this is how they're going to be able to pass the PS2s, because they have that price drop in their back pocket that they still haven't used 8 years later. And so now it's looking like that's no longer in their back pocket. So that should be interesting. And I think that's one thing that we can probably talk about at some point as a topic here on the podcast, to see if they're actually going to hit that goal now. But I think when you take a step back, right, and look at the bigger picture, there's just more going on. We all know that the market conditions, aka the tariffs, right, dealing with that hits things like the controllers, legacy hardware. Obviously, you look at the production runs, the production cost with the inflation, shipping, the increased material costs. I don't personally think that Nintendo's raising prices to take advantage of the consumer. That's not a good business practice. We all know that. But at the end of the day, like Nintendo, like any other company that we support, they're a business. And businesses, as we know, are here to make money. If they don't make money, we're not going to get new video games and new consoles. But I've said this for years. I don't believe Nintendo raises prices just because they can. And I don't buy into the idea that Nintendo is greedy, which is a common thing on the internet. A greedy company doesn't operate the way Nintendo has historically. You look at companies like Microsoft, where the CEO made $80 million and they lay off thousands of people on a regular basis. Meanwhile, Nintendo executives have taken pay cuts without being asked to do so. They've done this in the past so that they wouldn't have to lay off people. I think that says a great deal about how they operate. So, look, overall, no, I don't like the price increases. Nobody does. Nobody's ever going to like that. But I also don't think they were careless or predatory. I think this was, a business decision made with sustainability in mind. And as players, we can be critical while still recognizing the difference between corporate greed and long-term strategy. So I think this is totally something that they had to do, and they did not want to do, but they had to do it. I don't mean this was to still make profit or even a loss. We don't know the numbers, but I got to say that this was not taken lightly. And, attack the backlog. You mentioned that in a week, people will forget about this. And, this won't be a headline anymore. I completely agree. Completely. That is how it goes. Look, these prices are high, but look, I'll say this. During the whole Switch 1 generation, outside of in the last 6 months, did I buy an extra set of Joy-Cons? I don't know why I'd really need an extra set. I use my Pro controller. And again, as Nate mentioned, what is it? Is it 72 at Costco?
At Costco? I'll look quick.
Yeah, I saw Wario post about it again. That's significantly cheaper. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
75.
My cousin was going to pick it up digitally. I'm like, My cousin lives down the street from Costco. I'm like, Jim, go to Costco. Go pick it up physically. Like, trust me, you're gonna want to own this physically. And it's a better deal there. It ain't much, but you're saving like $7-8.
Yep.
And you literally have to pass it every day that you go home and every day that you go to work. So you just go there and get it. But Costco membership, this might be something that I think Nintendo fans want to look into, because I will say this too. Throw this out there for Costco. Their eShop gift cards are always 10% off. 365 days a year, 10% off. Always. So whenever I buy anything on the eShop, I buy the cards from Costco. I buy them online. They're delivered to my inbox within 5 or 10 minutes. And then I plug the codes in, and I essentially just get 10% off everything I buy on the eShop. Sometimes they do 20% off, which they recently did. So I just bought $500. That was the max in eShop cards, because I know I'm going to spend that during the Switch 2 lifespan. So I essentially just gave myself 20% off on all digital games. So that's why I say the membership starts to pay for itself if you're going to be buying the first party games, because Nintendo or Costco gets all the first party games. You can always count on them to at least have the first party stuff. So yeah, little way to save money, especially when prices are going up on, again, everything. My insurance, my homeowner's insurance, car insurance, you name it. Everything's going up, man. What can we do, right? It's an uncontrollable. There's nothing we can do about changing the cost of stuff except try to make more money, right?
I like we weren't trying to do that the whole time.
Right.
Right? Always are.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'll my last little 2 cents in here is, it sucks, obviously, but to a certain extent, I'd rather have them raise the price on the Switch 1 than the Switch 2 stuff. So it sucks, that it might hamper, it passing, like you said, Tech the Backlog passing the PlayStation 2. But, that doesn't mean that in, 4 or 5 months things turn around and they can actually hit the price drop, for Christmas or even, beginning of next year. So I think it hopefully is a temporary thing, but yeah, it sucks, but that's the way the world is going right now. And yeah.
All right. Well, I'd say we move on to the topic too, but our co-host dipped out. He'll be back. He's having some issues getting his stuff going, which is cool. We'll just go to the next topic, I guess. Which I think is on ThunderStash, because we're talking about the indie world stuff, I believe, for this one. But I have a little bit of a surprise for this one. A little sit back and watch for a little bit and just enjoy. So hold on here, because this, for those who don't know, there was a certain other YouTuber that said this was happening this week. People got a little perturbed. And if they like to be perturbed, then that's fine, because I have a surprise right here for everyone. Surprise! Sitting down with Switch Force. He would love to be here live with us, but it's okay. He's got stuff going on, but it's been a crazy week, and he's been a huge part of it. You guys know we're going to be talking about the indie world, doing our predictions and stuff like that, and the 3-phase plan, and trying to figure out when the heck we think Nintendo might actually do the 3rd phase, because I know that's what all you guys are really excited for. I get it. But this is the last event before that. So if you thought direct conversation was going to stop, it's probably not. Just throw that out there.
Not going to stop. Never going to stop.
So obviously, as we're doing this to come into our indie conversation, first off, I know you said it in your video, but for anyone who hasn't seen, why did you decide that you wanted to even mention there was going to be a Nintendo presentation this week?
Yeah, that's semantics. I think what motivated me, because I've never been like a leaker, but I really I didn't like the whole let's lie to our audience on purpose and conduct an experiment. So I was like, you know what? This is a chance for me to kind of reverse that and say, hey, let's actually be honest and let people know something exciting to have them get excited about. Now, boy, did I not think that through in terms of how it was going to backfire and have people say that I'm the one conducting the experiment, but there was no experiment. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun show. It's not the general direct that people are so eager for, but I tried to make that real clear of like, no Metroid, no Kirby, no, none of these big games, no Elden Ring, like not any of these types of titles. So like it would really, if you watch the videos, you should have known there's like one possible type of thing that this can be.
Also, no Silk Song.
No Silk Song.
You're not the only one saying that. I think Pietro Brazil came out and said that too yesterday. He's like, hey, if you're coming to this for Silk Song, just don't even show up.
Right. Yeah. Sleep in.
Yeah. If you guys want Silk Song, maybe your best hope might be opening night live before they do that demo there. That
absolutely
could be something there. I don't want to guarantee it. It's Team Cherry. No one really knows when they're going to talk. Like the Microsoft announced like it's going to be playable on their Xbox handheld, and that same day their PR person's like, hey, we're not launching with the handheld. I'm like,
they're all over the place. Yeah, I think Silk Song just if it comes,
tell people
it comes when it comes.
When are you
launching?
Miracle. Just tell people, right? Oh, that was going to be a demo. So I don't even want to guarantee there's going to be an announcement for Gamescom because who the heck knows. That being said, obviously Indie World tomorrow going to be a really fun time. You obviously know about some of the titles there, so don't want you to speculate too hard because you kind of can't when you know, like.
Right. I'll just say that I think the Shadow Drop is going to be a real hit with people.
Okay. Is the Shadow Drop a game that's already been previously announced?
By Nintendo?
Just in general?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because sometimes Shadow Drops are like caught out of nowhere, like Metroid Prime when that dropped. There was no.
Yeah, it's not like the Campfire game.
Yeah, the Campfire game. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Yep.
Yeah, not like that.
Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Help with our speculation when we get into it about wow, what could that be? Because clearly it's somewhere else or it's already announced or I don't know. We'll see. Cool. So I don't want to dive too deep into that. I risk exposing stuff. But obviously there's this third phase. Right, I've been talking about the 3-phase thing. I kind of looked at it last night. I was kind of looking at what's happened in the past, and they've definitely done this whole partner showcase, Indie World Direct, or they reversed the Indie World and the partner showcase Direct stuff. But it's definitely happened a couple of times. I wouldn't say that it's like a consistent thing they always do. Although at Indie World, it seems to always be like Indie World Direct, Indie World Direct. That's been a thing for years. But a lot of us were expecting a big Direct anyways, just because we have so many release dates we don't know. Games like Kirby Air Riders, we haven't even seen the game itself yet. And on top of that, Mario's 40th is coming up in September. So like people were already like Nintendo's probably not going to completely ignore that. They're not going to pull a Zelda 35th, I think. It's just a Game & Watch. It's all you're getting for the mascot of Nintendo. It doesn't even make sense, right? And they did a big thing, they've done the big thing every 5 years since like the 20th anniversary for Mario. I think like every 5 years they've done something decently big for Mario. So anyways, I'm not saying that when the third phase is, because I have no idea what I'm not you. But if you don't know, when do you think it'll be? I know you put the kibosh on next week, which I think also is
it's definitely not next week. I will have more in the future, but what I can say now is it's soon-ish. And to be clear, I do know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a lot.
Well, there. Switchforce knows when the Direct is. Did you guys just hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He knows when it is, and it's soon-ish.
That's crazy.
Ish.
Not next week though.
Yeah. People have tried to say like,
sure.
Yeah, a lot of people said Indie in August, Direct in September. Anyone, could guess that. Sure, okay. First of all, Nintendo's been very strange this year, so I wouldn't put anything past them in terms of abandoning patterns. But second of all, I will. I will.
You're keeping it to yourself right now.
In the future, but yes, it's
okay.
Soon-ish, and it's going to be a good show.
Okay, so just to clarify, he's put this publicly. It's not next week, so it's not a 3-week plan.
No,
I know some people were maybe hoping because of Gamescom, maybe they want to get some news before then. That's fine, because they have multiple events. They got the Fan Expo in Canada, which we already know the demos for, which are pretty exciting demos.
Right.
Big third-party games there that we haven't seen on Switch 2 yet, so that's going to be neat. And then obviously they have that the Gamescom stuff, which they're going to, and they don't always do. In fact, they haven't since the rumors about all the stuff about them showing third-party things back in 2023. That Furukawa was like, we didn't have a dev kit there. I'm like, well, that's not technically what the rumors said, but yeah, okay. Good on you, Furukawa.
We got Drag Drive next week. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, Drag Drive next week. That's right. We do have that coming up. We obviously have, they just dropped that trailer, the DLC for Kirby.
Yeah, that looks fun.
That's looking good. I'm still going to wait on reviews. I felt burned by the Jamboree stuff. So
yeah,
I think I could feel more confident in this because it looks more like just more of the great game. But
yeah, kind of like an expansion. Yeah, I think it's a stronger package.
Well, we'll see. I'll wait for the reviews. It's not that big a deal, guys. Oh no, I don't buy it until the day of release. Oh darn. And then obviously, we have PAX West, which if you guys, just a reminder to the audience, the whole Nintenbyte podcast crew is going to PAX West, and Nintendo's already announced to be there. So hopefully some of these demos are making their way there as well. It'd be kind of cool to go hands-on, or maybe something new, because maybe Phase 3 is before PAX West. I have no idea. He said soon-ish. Look, soon's relative, right? Nintendo's got a 90-day launch window. We're technically still in it.
We are still in it, yes.
So soon-ish. Okay. End of August, sometime in September. That's kind of it's not as wide of a window or a net as you guys want. Obviously, you would love to get Zach to narrow this down, but that's when it's time. When it's due time to do that. And what's cool about whenever Zach does choose to do that, unlike last time or this week, I guess, where they were trying to use them against you, Nate the Hate will probably end up backing it because he actually pays attention to. He said it out loud. Yeah, I check on directs. I don't check on indie stuff.
Yeah, instead of Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby, maybe we can just be two Nintendo fans.
Absolutely. Okay, so obviously you can't say a whole lot because you know too much.
Yeah.
Which also, man, that kind of sucks. Does that suck on the channel? Like you can't speculate as much as some other content creators go because you just know?
I don't even want to, like... I feel good.
You feel good.
I can't even really like. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it sucks.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know anything. To be clear, I have no information about an upcoming direct. So,
I as someone who loves Nintendo and who is really eager for them to like start moving forward with this Switch 2, this expensive system that everybody bought, like I'm just excited.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm excited too. I think by the time we get through this cycle, get through all three phases, I think people are going to feel a lot better about Switch 2. It's kind of weird. I kind of understand some of the sentiment because I kept thinking, like, why are people so anxious with Switch 2? Then it's like, well, there hasn't really been anything announced since April 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up very strangely. I mean, Nintendo, look, they're an insanely successful company. They're not going to be like, well, we got nothing. So that they're going to have something. It's just this impatience and eagerness and hunger and thirst, like we just give it to us. But yeah, there was never a scenario where they just don't have third-party games, they just don't have indie games, they just don't have first-party games. Like all of that stuff is coming. It just, if I was them, I would have reversed this order. I think that would have probably made people feel better. But
yeah,
from what we see, they don't seem to really care how people feel about things. They have their plan and they run it through.
I mean, they ran a survey. Maybe they care a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah. Then they closed the survey on the same day. So.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe they got enough feedback. Maybe it was so overwhelming one direction. Like, okay, we don't really need any more. We get
no
it.
Point.
We get
that's what I'm hoping. We'll see.
Yeah, and hopefully all that news about the cartridge size stuff too. Hopefully that's something that's actually going to pan out. Probably won't be guys till next year. This stuff takes a while to get going, but okay, cool. So obviously I don't want to take up too much of your time. You got a busy day. I got a busy day. Is there anything you'd like to just put out there about this whole situation with the three phases or the indie worlds or anything that you just want to let people know? Since you can't be here at the show, so can't pester you more right now.
I can't be there at the show. I'm playing Star Wars Unlimited, my favorite hobby that's not on YouTube. I'm going to be watching Elio tonight, and tomorrow should be fun.
Surprised it wasn't Marvel Snap.
Yeah, Marvel Snap just had like 6 cards come out, so that's overwhelming. I gotta check that out when I have a chance.
I was joking about it when I saw on Discord that it said you were playing Marvel Snap. I'm like, of course he's playing Marvel Snap.
Yeah, that is my most played game of all time.
So there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Well, obviously you can go check out Switch Force's channel. We'll link it down below, or probably drop the link in the live stream chat for you guys. Listen to the audio version. We'll also have a link to his channel down in the description for the audio version. And yeah, we'll have to get him on when he can actually more freely talk about things. And at the way the schedule's going, it'll probably be after the directs happen. So there'll be a lot more freedom to talk about things because Nintendo probably won't have any more events happening until 2026. So
yeah, that'll be nice.
All right, Zach. Well, thank you so much for being here. And guys, let's get back to the show. All right. So the little guest appearance there, and someone who wanted to be here tonight but couldn't make it. Did not expect him to say out loud that he knows when the next direct is. So that was fun.
Right.
That came out of nowhere. And he's gonna let us know before the week of it. I don't know if you guys caught that in there. He's gonna let Nate the Hate, he's basically gonna say when it's happening before Nate will. So I'm like, all right, cool. So look forward to that. I'm assuming September, but this isn't my topic. So let me boot it on over to Stash. GameBird, we skipped over you. We'll come back. Don't worry, we'll come back around. This is what it is. So Stash, how do you want to broach this topic, man?
Well, first, was I the only one analyzing Zach's body language when you kept asking him when it was going to be?
Yeah, I was.
Did anybody else?
I was trying. Yeah.
What did you get from that? Like, did you get? Let me ask you this: by trying to read his body language, did you get before PAX or after PAX? Because for me, that is the question.
When is PAX?
PAX is the end of the month.
29th.
So before PAX would basically be like happening in August.
Nintendo's there.
September. Yeah.
It's in their backyard.
So I've
great
seen
opportunity to show off some, the big games coming out.
Personally, I've watched this now like 6 times. Oh man. So I was listening, I was because he kept nodding with September for a bit, and I was like, okay, so it's September, right? But then you listen as you start talking about, hey, we're all going to be at PAX West. Maybe it'll be before then. You check his link. I literally said that to get a body language check.
That's what I was really focusing in on right there. That part.
Yeah, that part. I was like, is he giving it away? Obviously, this is all just guessing. We're getting into like just guessing what his body language means. I got a feeling that he was kind of hinting toward before PAX, but we'll see.
That was the read I got too.
Yeah.
What about
you
guys?
He also didn't need to. Are you drinking piss? Sorry.
Sorry, it's not dark enough for you. My bad.
He also didn't have to go out of his way to mention that. People are telling him, well, duh, like Nintendo always does one in September. And he mentions like, hey, like this has been an odd year for Nintendo. You don't like, yes, there's patterns, but Nintendo's famous for breaking patterns. That's an interesting thing to keep in mind. And I do think that, like, Stash, I mean, you raise a great question. And is it coming before PAX? Because we know Nintendo's going to be there. This is a great opportunity to demo Hyrule Warriors at PAX. The new Hyrule Warriors. We got Echoes of Wisdom last time. So if we can get a release date, an official release date with like a bigger gameplay trailer, and then get that demo station at PAX West, that'd be rad.
Honestly, I think if they're going to demo something at PAX West, if the game isn't out by then, I think it's going to be Prime 4 at PAX West. I mean, they can have both. Yeah. They can absolutely have both. But I like, something tells me that they're going to have that. Those PAX 2019 and PAX 2020. Wait, was it 2020? One of those packs where they had the really nice Animal Crossing booth and whatnot. I think that if they're going to dedicate a booth to possibly have maybe like a big ass Samus statue and then just big purple wall, I think it's going to be Prime 4. But hey, if an Age of Imprisonment gets like a booth or any type of like playable demo there, I just hope they release one to the public like they did with Age of Calamity. That's what I want.
I know.
Darren, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I would like to see a Hyrule Warriors tech demo. That would be pretty awesome. That's the game I'm most looking forward to as far as next games for the Switch 2. But as far as when the direct, I think I'm definitely leaning more towards the pre-packs side for sure. I think I got that read like the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
For sure, definitely. So I'm hyped because I love the Switch. It's my Switch too, but I'm also very, very, very excited for the announcements to come. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Totally.
It's awesome.
And to be fair, if we get the direct before PAX, I think we're still getting a direct in September. You know, there's this mention of the 3-pronged approach. I think it's the 4-pronged. Whether it's the Mario, like just a specific Mario anniversary direct, or I would not be surprised to see another one game focused direct land, before the end of the year. There's a lot of games like, we talked about this, I think, last week on the show. Prime 4, obviously the core Metroid fans are really excited for this game. We've only seen a very small slice from the beginning of the game. What makes us stand out? Is there anything other than the psychic powers that's going to make this game stand out? Or is it just going to feel like another Prime 1, 2, and 3? A game focused direct. Look at what the wonders it did for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Imagine what that could do for Metroid. Anyone who's maybe not familiar with the series or not fully sold on it based on what we've seen so far. So I think that's another possibility this year.
Yeah, that direct really put the spotlight on that game in a way that I think not a lot of people got from it. The initial reveal. I mean, I know me personally, like it really swayed my opinion on the game because at first I was kind of like, but that it really sold me when they did that presentation, and I'm glad they did because I'm having a blast. So I could definitely see them doing that again with another title, definitely.
ATB, what do you think, man?
About the direct.
Yeah, about the direct, about the timing of it.
Well, GameBird's face. I heard some things about it yesterday, and I heard a month. There's a month that's been mentioned, and I haven't heard anything about any games. Like they didn't say anything games, but I heard a month and what GameBird says about 2 different types of shows. That's what I heard.
Great. Well, that's good to hear.
Nothing about any games.
Repeat the last part.
The funny thing was, I heard this yesterday. I was talking to another content creator we all know, and then I saw the topics today, and it's like predictions for like direct. Like, oh shit.
To be
so
fair,
the whole
Nate,
time I'm here, like just say, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. Just careful. But like, no, I didn't hear anything about any games. Just a month and the type of announcements.
Yeah.
Now, does the month rhyme?
Fuck off. But I was also told to be very discreet because like nothing's come out.
Well, we're probably doing a rhyming game. So it's pretty discreet. Does it rhyme with
Blink twice if it's
yeah. I'm like this.
September. That's like rhymes with September, October, November, December. Like,
is it a month that more close
the KTV just disappeared?
Right.
Or is it one that isn't leaning towards cucumber?
It's been mentioned. The month was mentioned.
Now I have multiple body languages. I gotta start comparing. Hold on.
Blink twice if it's
The thing is,
September.
I was watching Switch Wars I was watching Zach really carefully as well, like trying to read him as well. I think he knows more because I haven't heard anything about any games at all.
Oh man, this is gonna.
So just to clarify, so you said there was going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to press you on the direct part, but you said the types of directs, which. GameBird, you can vouch for this. This is exactly what I said in your video over a month ago. And I've said on the podcast for over a month, I believe, as well. This is exactly what I expect. I expect a dedicated spotlight, direct. Makes sense. I mean, like, logically speaking, we got the Mario 40th. We got Metroid. 2 great games to spotlight, right? If Mario Kart got a spotlight, and DK got a spotlight. Explain to me why Metroid wouldn't get one,
And it
that's
needs
been
it
in
the most.
development since 2017, and why, and why obviously Mario wouldn't get one for his 40th birthday, right? Come on. So logically speaking, I expect those two to get spotlights. We're getting the indie, and I expect the general, which is exactly what I said. Published, baby.
Yep.
So great to hear we're on the same page. Eric, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh man, my thoughts and
It
first
feels
what I
weird
hope.
because we have
Yeah.
someone here who knows.
Yeah.
So it's
No.
what makes it awkward. We're like,
I don't know. I don't know an exact date. I don't know.
for anyone else that's
Exactly.
going to talk, start going
Yeah.
hard in on the month and just watch his body language.
I ain't gonna press you for it, man, because I want
Say
you to keep
nothing
getting
if
that
it's
info.
September.
Yeah, I'll hit you up after the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
We're good. Yeah. we could talk about it by the campfire. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
there you
Let's,
go.
let's all go around the campfire
right.
after the show, huh?
Yeah. You know, I'm hoping it's before, just like the week before PAX, because then it opens itself up for, possibly more different demos that they could do if they have like a newly announced game or something that they've been hiding. So that would be kind of nice to see. And then that leaves September open again for, like you guys have said, the Prime 4 and the oh god, what's the other one?
Age of Imprisonment?
Mario 40th. Oh, Age
Yeah,
of
Mario 40 directs in September. So yeah, I'm hoping it's before PAX. Plus, it gives us, good things to talk about before PAX. Get excited even more. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But with Nintendo, it's throw a dart at the wall and you never know what the hell you're gonna get.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously things have changed over the years. Regime changes, not as predictable. Not to say that they were very predictable, but there are some patterns, of course, if you look at the history of the Nintendo Directs. So just watching Zach, I watched his video earlier today too, that came out a few hours ago. And he mentioned what he mentioned with you, Nate, but not to the degree that he mentioned with you. So now obviously he's mentioned it to his community as well. And I will say that I've been sub to Zach since I was in the mortgage industry, working in corporate management. I've been subscribed to his channel for a very long time. I don't know how many years, but he's been a very good resource. I do like his content, and he doesn't say things loosely. That's one thing I've noticed about Zach for a long time. So that's good to hear. As far as PAX, right? As far as, if it's before or after, obviously the logic aspect of it is, wouldn't it be great to show these upcoming games to everyone in attendance at PAX, because everyone here is a big video game fan. So clearly they're going to be interested in this. They're going to like it. That's free coverage for Nintendo. They don't have to personally invite anybody out. People are buying tickets. They're going to go there. They're going to cover it. I'm going to cover everything that's there. All of us are. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I look at that, and I look at some of the developers that are going to be at PAX. So I went through and I combed through the list yesterday, and I told you this, GameBird, as well. Obviously, I'm trying to come up with a good game plan since it's going to be in 2 buildings, right? And kind of liken it to if you're going to go to like Disneyland and California Adventure, and you're only going for one day, right? So you got to make the most of it. You got to have some sort of game plan about how you're going to see everything. And that's kind of what I'd like to do, right, with PAX. And as I'm going through this list, right? So from the top, right, Bandai Namco booth. And they have their booth, and then they have 3 private rooms. And all I could think is like, interesting. You would wonder if maybe something like Elden Ring would be there. And
Tarnished
in order for it to be there, you'd kind of want the release date already out, right? And I think the release date would be coming at the General Direct, which would make me believe that the General Direct would be before. So 3 rooms could mean 3 different games, right? Tekken 8, that's one that's been very highly rumored for a long time. That's a game I could see there. Some of these other ones, like Larian Studios, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3.
What are you doing there? You haven't announced anything. I did plenty of research. They got nothing. They have nothing they've announced. So what are you doing there?
Just Baldur's Gate 3. That's all PAX East was. It was nothing but Baldur's Gate.
Right, but it's interesting because as I go down the list, there's other developers too that I'm like, what do you guys have coming? And then I look into it, and they really don't have anything. They don't have a good reason to be there. This isn't E3. Not every developer's there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a good reason to be there. It's got to make sense, especially in today's economy. If you're going to be paying people to go out there, paying for their flights, to set up their hotels, it's got to make sense.
Well, I mean that would. Well, didn't Nate the Hate say that Baldur's Gate 3 would be announced for Switch 2 in the launch window? That would just make the cut.
So did
I literally
so did we.
can't find it. I literally can't find that quote. But I've heard people say
maybe
that.
he didn't.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but we did.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we did.
I
We
truly
all
believe
did.
it's gonna. I truly believe it's gonna come again. I don't need inside sources, right? Logically, this game should come to Switch 2. This is a great candidate. It's a great game for the mouse Joy-Con. It makes sense, right? You want to make some more money? Easy way, right? Especially in this economy, if you want to make more money, this is a way to make some easy money. So I'm gonna lean towards before PAX. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. With that said, let's talk about the games that we expect to see there tomorrow. Now, obviously, there's expectations and there's wants. What do we want to see? What do we expect to see? Feel free to include both. Okay. I have a list of games. I'll go last because I usually have a bigger list here. Who would like to do the honors of what they want to see tomorrow? What they expect to see? Please take it away.
Indie games, Clear Obscure Expedition 33.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please.
Oh,
Something tells me that it's not going to be on an indie world, though. Something tells me, like, even though it technically is an indie game, it's probably going to be like a general direct or something. But
imagine if it was, though, how many people, how they'd view indie worlds now. Because right now, the way people view indie world is, I'm not waking up tomorrow. It's like,
they're like, I'm going to wake up for
games?
another DLC for Dave the Diver, even though it's not an indie game.
It's crazy, though. So many indie games are like
Mm-hmm.
amazing. So it's odd to me that so many people crap on this showcase. But if something like that showed up, that would totally change how everyone looks at it. So that would be interesting.
Right.
What else you got?
Honestly, indie's like that I'm thinking of right now because I'm like nothing's coming to me because like I mean, would Hades 2 be considered indie? No, right?
Yeah,
or is it is?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe that, and then I've been seeing a lot of promotion for, and I don't know, like, would it show up here? Because I mean, that's another game, the Shantae, the Game Boy Advance game that never got produced, but then they're making it. So that maybe that game too.
That's a good one. I didn't have that one.
It's coming out August 19th.
There you go. So you like perfect positioning.
I got a review code coming.
Nice. A lot of people are saying, I know a lot of people have been saying this. I'm like, I pray for Silk Song fans every day. And like Silk Song, but then I've been reading that Xbox or Microsoft, I should say, actually has the promotional rights for Team Cherry games. Like I read that somewhere and I'm like, okay,
So did I.
that makes sense that like, oh, if it doesn't show up there, that's why. But at the same time, we haven't seen Silksong for so long, and it finally appeared again during a Nintendo Switch 2 montage. And that was like the first time we saw it in like, I don't want to say years or months, but like an expanded amount of time. And we're like, oh, it's there, but it just like showed up for like a second. So I mean, like it was there then. So like, does that mean it can't show up tomorrow? And
I think that's a worthwhile counter to it.
Yeah. And then other than that, I don't think of like, anything specific, because like if anything, my gut tells me we're gonna see something like we're gonna see a lot of new stuff tomorrow, like stuff that we've never seen. Like the next generation of indies. So especially this like Nintendo's indie world. A lot of these are probably gonna head up to Switch 2. So I feel like the more we don't know is the more exciting part. So that's where I'm at.
I completely agree, and I gotta throw this in there too and ask what you guys think about this. But does having an indie world change the narrative about development kits and indies not having them?
No. And I say no because the indie world, just like we saw at the partner showcase, it's gonna be Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah.
So I assume most of the games will just be Switch, and there'll be like a handful that are Switch 2, and those might be the most exciting potentially, depending on what they are. But
I do think a majority, if not nearly all of them, are going to be.
There could be like
I don't think we're gonna see a game tomorrow that is exclusive to Switch 2. Like everything we're gonna see tomorrow is gonna come to both. Or at the very least, like, oh, play on both, optimized for Switch 2.
That campfire game.
Do you have any wild card guesses, HMK? Just for fun, throw a wild card out there.
And
I guess you kind of did with Expedition.
Nintendo Talk did put out a tweet just a little bit ago saying he's got a source that 3 games are going to be shadow dropped from the Indie World Showcase.
That's awesome.
So not demos, like straight up shadow drops.
Just drop on them.
Yeah. What those will be, who knows? But again, Zach in his videos gave reason to be excited for tomorrow. Nintendo Talk knows something. Should be interesting.
Zach looked really excited, actually. He looked well excited.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But the GameBird, to answer your question, I don't think I can think of any other wild card like on the top of my head right now.
I think Expedition was good enough. That's a big ass wild card. So.
All right. Darren, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm thinking that we see some Witchbrook tomorrow. If that qualifies
that's on my list.
Well, because they've announced it for Switch 2, so I see no reason why it wouldn't be there. It's launching. I got their website up here this winter, so I feel like that it's appropriate timing to show a little bit more of that game off. I mean, I love Chucklefish, so I'm sure this game is going to be fantastic.
That's a good pick. What else you got? You got any other games you expect or would like to see?
Me personally, this is out of left field, but same publisher. I love Starbound. It's a fantastic game. It's one of my favorite. It's just Terraria in space, and they haven't updated that game in a long time. I would love to see a sequel or an update to it, but that is a long shot. I don't think that's going to happen. But if I see that tomorrow, I'm going to lose my mind.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Tech to Backlog, what do you got?
I've got a couple you guys have mentioned already. So I had Witchbrook as well. I was thinking Mina the Hollower might show up. That's from Shovel Knight. I can imagine that might show up. And then Bendy Lone Wolf, the sequel to, was it Bendy Inc., which I've never played. I just downloaded it before the stream, so I've always wanted to play it. But Bendy Lone Wolf is out in a week, I think. It's 7 or 8 days. So I thought, well, that probably could show up. Hades 2 I picked because I thought that might get a demo, maybe. I can imagine that maybe get a demo. And then there was 2. Well, I don't know. I was going to say Little Nightmares 3, but they're not technically, because it's done by the developers from Until Dawn. But I don't think they're in India anymore because they got acquired. So I'm not sure if that could show up. But the one I really wanted was Reanimal, which is the actual developers of Little Nightmares. That game looks incredible. Like that looks like the evolution of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. And I think that's out in the first quarter of 2026. So I don't think we've seen it in a while. So maybe that could get a new trailer. And then a game I would love, like a sequel I would love, which I don't think ever will get made. I don't know what's going on with the developer, but if out of left field we got a sequel announcement to Pizza Tower, I would oh man, I would cry happy tears for that. But that's my wild one. I don't know. I doubt. I don't know what's going on with developer. I have no idea. But that game was incredible. So, but Reanimal is the one realistically I hope to see.
Awesome. I like that list. Okay, Eric, you got some more you'd like to add there?
I mean, I only really got one to add on top of the ones that have already been said because those are awesome. But I was just doing a little bit of research on indie games, and Slay the Spire 2 is supposed to be coming into early access this year, I believe, or is it next year? From what I was reading, I thought it was this year.
I think it's this year.
So that actually would be kind of cool if they put that in the thing and then all of a sudden announce that the early access is tomorrow. So I think that would be kind of cool.
Okay. It's a good one. Very good one.
GameBird.
All right. I got a little list that I made this morning. Before I made this list, I had my expectations in check. It's a 15-minute indie presentation. So I know it's going to be a little bit lighter on the announcements. Also, this is something I've said since I've joined the podcast. Anytime there's an indie direct, I don't expect Silksong to get a release date or major announcement there. I believe Silksong has, not because I think the game's a myth, I believe it's real, but I think Silksong is an example of a game that's transcended indie directs. I think it's too big. There's just too much hype, too much mystery. I think that game is better suited for a showcase or a mainline direct. That's just my personal opinion. With that being said, the games that I do expect to see there, not all of these, of course, but these are ones that I think make a lot of sense. Witchbrook got mentioned. It's one we've been waiting for a while. It's Chucklefish. It looks fantastic. I believe it's holiday 2025 right now. Another one, Super Meat Boy 3D.
That's another one
we've already heard about. This would be fantastic on Switch too. Hades 2, you guys mentioned earlier. Would not be surprised to find out that this is one of the shadow drops tomorrow. That would make a lot of sense. Slay the Spire 2, Eric just mentioned. The first one's incredible. One of the coolest indie roguelite card games. Really, really fun. Here's one that I'm super hyped for. I know Stash is too. This team made what I believe is the best modern retro style beat 'em up of all time. And this game is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Shredder's Revenge was one of my absolute favorites. We know this game comes out this holiday. Unless there's a delay, this would be a great time to drop that release date. Another one. This is an indie that came out earlier this year. It's one of it was either this year or the end of last year. But it's insanely highly rated. I've played it, and it's amazing. It's called Blueprints. It's a lot like I wish I remembered the name of the board game. It's a lot like this board game where you're in a haunted mansion and you draw tiles in the random rooms and you're exploring. Really fun, narrative driven puzzle, kind of escape roomy. Really, really fun. Another one that's one of the highest rated games of this year, Shujinko. It's a RPG that came out. I think it's sitting at like a 92 or a 93 on OpenCritic. It's just a retro style RPG. It looks fantastic. Here's a weird one. I'm not sure. I feel like this one isn't a very popular name, but Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. If you guys have ever heard of the original Pony Island, if you haven't, check it out. It's weird. This guy, I forget his name. He makes really weird indie games. They're critically acclaimed. They're amazing. He made a amazing card game that's super creepy and weird. But Pony Island 2, sounds kind of weird in the name. It's not what you would expect or think. The games are whacked out, to say the least. Yeah, check this one out, everyone, if you've never heard of it. And that's kind of like my solid list. I want to steal from one of our guests. ATP mentioned Reanimal. I think that's a great pick. I want to throw that on my list because I want to see more of that one, and I want to see that on Switch too. And then I'm going to go for a fun wild card. Where's Dylan, guys? Do you guys remember Dylan's Rolling Western? Whatever happened to that guy? I'm going to say as a wild card, we're going to see the return of Dylan. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Dylan.
That's a good one.
I forgot to say, I don't know if someone mentioned it, and someone in the chats just said it as well, which reminded me was Yooka-Laylee, because I fully expect that to be there.
That was my list. When I get to it.
I expect that to be there for sure.
In GameBird, so I finally remembered what my my other wild card is, and I remember why I kind of like phased it out of my mind for a very big reason. But at first, I'm like, okay, wild card for tomorrow's show. Playdead's third game, right? And the reason why I'm like, that's probably not gonna happen because of the ongoing lawsuit that's going on right now. So
sure,
maybe
that's a cool pick, though.
Yeah. That's an awesome pick.
But yeah, that stuff with the former co-founder, yeah, it's getting really messy between them, but whatever.
All right, Nate, what do you got? What are your picks?
So you guys have gone through a lot of them. I just closed my list. Here it is. So obviously there's some on my list here that some of you guys have talked about, like Mina the Hollower. Great game. I can't wait. I just expect this thing to be there. I almost think it's like a guarantee to be one of the big games in the show. Hades 2. I know they already did it. They could save it for some. I kind of feel like it's coming to consoles sooner than later. I kind of feel like a release date needs to be. It could be dropped here today. RimWorld. Well, that's one you guys have looked into before. It's a really good one. So this is like a small prediction about a potential shadow drop. What about Skate Story?
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Throwing that out, there's a potential shadow drop. I don't know. We'll see here. Chained Echoes DLC. Why not?
That'd be nice.
They self-published Power Wash Simulator 2, so maybe we get a Nintendo announcement for that one. That'd be nice.
That's a good pick.
Windblown. You guys don't know what that one is. You gotta look it up. Bendy Lonely Wolf.
Yep.
A good one. This is one I've loved ever since the very first trailer. Mouse PI for Hire.
Oh yeah,
I got
that one. Looks fun.
That was really fun. I'd love to see that in the Indie World tomorrow. Yeah, and then I had Yooka-Laylee, but you stole my thunder from me before. I was like, no one's mentioned it yet. I'm gonna be the first.
I'll see my way out.
As for any sort of dream game, look, I can't. The problem is every time I think of a dream game, I can't think of anything other than the one indie that's not going to be there, which is Expedition 33, which is what HMK said. Because I'm like, that's a dream game. That's just like literally not anything else I could think of. Yeah, that absolutely could happen. But that one's like, I think it's too big. But it would be pretty badass if they end it with Expedition 33. It'll make people, as we said before, really change their opinion about what can be in an indie world.
Cadence of Hyrule 2.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would be sick. I loved that game.
I think it was really fun.
Well, you know what? That actually reminds me. Do you guys think there could be some sort of Mario crossover with indie games, given the 40th coming up?
Yes, but not at an indie world.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm because I feel like in recent years, until I was like seeing that other developers. I mean, like this happened throughout ever since before the N64 days, that other developers are capable with their IPs, and now they're getting smaller and smaller studios in order to add their own flavor to their bigger, well-known IPs, especially like Cadence of Hyrule. Look at that. So I definitely feel like with Mario, they could definitely get something going for the 4th anniversary. Will it be at Indie World? Probably not.
All right. I'll give you my list here. So this is what I got. Agelos 2. You guys familiar with Agelos? I have it physically.
Look it up.
Yeah,
Awesome game.
how do you spell that?
Aggelos. Really cool game.
Oh, yeah, no, this looks cool.
The trailer for part 2 dropped recently, and I could definitely see this is a good candidate and a game that people probably aren't thinking of, but it's done very well. You know, it sold well enough to get a physical edition, which, as we know, that's the sign that an indie game did well. If it gets that physical edition later on.
Oh, yeah, I would totally buy this.
It's a great game. It's usually pretty inexpensive too for the standard price, but it's on sale often. Totally worth it. Okay, so the next one, for sure. I've been tweeting about it. I expect it tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think this is going to be one of the games that is shadow dropped based on their most recent tweet that they're doing the Q&A testing, but it is Yuka Replay. This is a game I've been very excited for. I was part of the original Kickstarter for Yooka-Laylee back in, I think it was 2015. So this is a game I'm really excited for. Yeah. Very excited for it. Obviously, 3D platformer fans, Banjo-Kazooie fans of rare games. This is where it's at. It looks very good. It looks like they're going to reach their actual vision with this game. The one that came out on Switch. You know, I think they would have preferred that it performed better, but obviously with limitations. But I think we've all seen it, the trailer for this game.
Yeah.
Looks phenomenal. The water looks great. Water graphics look really nice. Okay, so Mina the Hollower, of course. Again, been excited since it was announced because this is taking games that are very near and dear to me and blending those formulas together, like Link's Awakening, Castlevania. Love the Yacht Club. Love games that are in that art style as well. I grew up on the NES, so clearly very excited for this. But that's not it from Yacht Club, because we can't sleep on the fact that a year ago they announced the Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX. And I've looked into it for updates. No updates, radio
Nothing.
silent. Yeah, and I believe they're waiting honestly for this.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it makes
agree.
sense because the date's been 2025. Perfect time to show it. It sells best on Nintendo. We had a Shovel Knight amiibo. I mean, kind of makes sense, right? There's a partnership there. And I think you could easily show both games at the showcase. You don't need to show a ton. But yeah, Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DX, that's a game I'd pick up day one.
Yeah, I would love an excuse to play more Shovel Knight. Definitely.
Right.
Just
Such
dump
an
another
amazing-
1,000 hours in that.
You guys can't see. So Shovel Knight is a game that means a lot to me because even though it wasn't my first indie game, it's the indie game that made me a huge lover of indie games. I had dabbled a little bit. I think my first indie game that I ever really got into was the original World of Goo on the Wii, and I loved it. Great music.
Yeah, I remember
amazing puzzle game with a really dark, cryptic story in the background that's really odd and it enhances the fun. But Shovel Knight changed the game for me. I was like, oh shit, like this is what indie gaming is like. And then I've been a huge fan of indies ever since. So that game's very special. I have on my shelf down here the first four figures Shovel Knight statue. It was one of the first.
You did.
It was one of the first four figure statues I ever got. That's how much I love this series. So that would be a huge moment for me. I hope it's there tomorrow. I'll lose it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the date's still there, 2025. They're allowed to update it. It's their game. It's their IP. They can change that date anytime they want. We're in August. I would think that they would mention something if it's not coming out, so that everyone can solely focus on Mina, since that is coming up now, and that promotional cycle is going to start soon with that being a Halloween release date. Okay, so from Way Forward, yes, Shantae for GBA. And I have it here, but I'm not going to open it because this is this is the golden cartridge.
Oh damn!
And I think these were limited, more
Does
limited than limited ROM. What?
Stash, does that sting a little bit? I understand why you don't want to open it,
does.
but not being able to see that golden cartridge and hold it in person, does that sting?
Yeah, it does.
I can imagine.
Makes me question if I'm doing the right thing.
Hey, mad respect. The number of times where I've put a special limited collector's item on my shelf and I'm like, I'm not going to open it. And then like a week later, it's open. Like, I can't. Like, I have to touch it.
Have you seen the Reanimal special edition?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's a filthy one, man. You have to look it up. It's disgusting, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, THQ goes pretty hard with their special editions.
I'm considering getting it, but
let me see.
I am too. All right, so I got 2 games from this company that I think could possibly be here that I'm a big fan of. That's retroware. I'm talking Toxic Crusaders, because that's coming out and that's on the promotional path right now. It's been promoted at a lot of the different expos. It's coming out this year. I think it's dated for December 4th. So Toxic Crusaders, that's a big one. But the other one that I really want an update on, and again, I talked to the creative director there, Jason, and from everything I gathered, and again, just he couldn't give me a firm date, but just from like reading his body language, it sounds like the Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest is still coming out this year. It's just a game that as soon as it was announced, I'm like, what? First off, this is ballsy and I like it because, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, one of my favorite Castlevania games, and you're literally calling this the Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest, and it looks like a sequel to Simon's Quest. And so, of course, I've been hyped for this for a long time. This was announced a while. It might have been 2023. So it's been in development for quite some time. They still got that 2025 date. So I'm still going to put it on here as a possible game to come out. Here's another one. I think this game is a really good candidate for this event, and that's Paper Clay. Is anyone familiar with Paper Clay? Recently came out on Steam. They say, if you like games like Banjo-Kazooie or rare games, you would like this game. They reached out to me to send me a review code, and I will say that they said we can give you a Steam code now if you want it, or if you wait a little bit longer, we can get you a code for Switch, which I'm fine to say. But obviously this game's coming out on Nintendo Switch soon. So yeah, check out a trailer. It looks very good. Looks like a great time. I think it's gotten actually some very favorable reviews as well. I don't know what the Steam rating is on it, but a lot of positive reviews. Here's one that just got a demo in June. It's a Metroidvania I've been looking forward to. It's Mio, Memories in Orbit. Does anyone remember this game being announced quite some time ago?
Let's have a look.
It's still on track for 2025. So again, clock's ticking. Grocery stores got Halloween candy out already. Things are getting real.
Oh, it's all right.
Stocked up on it.
Yeah, you got to start putting some dates on this stuff and show it. So I could see that.
Good.
Outside of some of the ones you named, Slay the Spire 2, that was on my list. Witchbrook. I didn't have Bendy Longwolf on my list. That is a good one. The Eternal Life of Goldman.
I can't believe I had one on my list you didn't have. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me
Well, Attack the Backlog, he had it on his list too.
Yes.
Bendy Longwolf. But The Eternal Life of Goldman, guys. Do we all remember this game? You play an old man. You have a cane. You use it like a pogo stick. Essentially DuckTales.
Oh,
It
man.
kind of remind me a lot of
Modern-day
like
DuckTales.
DuckTales and Cranky Kong. I remember seeing
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes. And again, so I pre-ordered this game right when it was announced, and I think it was announced at the Game Awards 2023. So I still have it pre-ordered at Best Buy as part of the buy two get one free deal that I did for Switch games. So yeah, we're coming up on 2 years. I want to hope that this is coming out soon. They just showed, they had like a 4-minute segment over the weekend, I think, this past weekend at the THQ Direct, where they showed, you know, all those games. Reanimal, I think, was there. And they didn't have a date on it, so I'm not sure. I thought maybe they didn't because it's going to be shown here, so we'll see. Enter the Gungeon 2.
Mhm.
This is a game like Super Meat Boy 3D. It was the Meat Boy and Enter the Gungeon did very well on Switch 1 for the indies. I think that's something that we'll get an update on soon. Marvel Cosmic Invasion as well. This is a game that's on my list of games to buy. 100%. Looks great. It's a beat 'em up, but it has hit points, which is something we've never seen in a beat 'em up game. So it's nice to see a new gameplay element be added to this genre, especially because we've had this genre for decades. And really nothing new has been added, right? It's only kind of been perfected with games like Shredder's Revenge and Streets of Rage 4, where it's like, hey, this formula is nearly perfected with these two games because they're so good. But now we're throwing in something different, like hit points and a beat 'em up. It's like, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then the game that I'm playing right now for review that nobody's talking about, that came out yesterday. Turbo Kid. Turbo Kid. Who's seen the movie? Michaela and I just watched it. I'd seen bits and pieces, but I said, babe, I gotta watch the movie, right? Because I'm playing the game. And I think due diligence, I should really watch the movie first. It's on Amazon Prime. And dude, first off, I'll just say, I won't get any spoilers. The movie is really fun. It's really good. If you're an 80s, 90s kid, you're going to enjoy it. It's quite gory, but it's in a comedic way. So Michaela still watched it. She just looked at me in a disgusted look, like, I can't believe you're making me watch this kind of look. But she didn't like walk away. I kind of gave her the look, like, just deal with it. It's fine. Get over it. So this is a Metroidvania game where you ride a BMX bike in the actual game, and that you can get off the bike as well. And you have like an attachment on your arm that literally looks like the Power Glove. It's supposed to look like that. And it's like an arm cannon, like Samus's arm cannon. It looks very, very cool. This is a game that came out on PC a while ago. When I say a while, like within the last year, and I had saw that it was coming out for Nintendo as well. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hold. And I'm glad I did. And from what I've seen so far, just booting it up, Switch 1, it shoots for 60 FPS, but it doesn't hit it. Switch 2, super smooth. So that's a good thing too. That's it. If we see any of these games, I'd be very happy. Hades 2, I will just mention, it did get its final patch. Supergiant Games put that out there last week. And again, I played this at the Switch 2 experience. You know, this has been in early access for a very long time on PC, over a year. Hades sold extremely well on Nintendo Switch. Like, that's how it really, really took off, was on Switch. I love this game. This is a day one pickup for me. So seeing that it got its final patch and they said it's complete, that could be a possible game. It could be one that we get a shadow drop for. It could be. It's hard to say, because to me, that's a really big title that could go play with the big boys at the General Direct. Like, I think Mina, that Shovel Knight, and obviously Silk Song, that can go play with the big boys at the General Direct, no problem, and people will still talk about those games. So I kind of go back and forth. But if you want to really own the indie world, you go do that, right?
I think it's being shadow dropped. That's why I predicted it. Yeah. Listen, it's been in early access for a long time. How did that version feel?
Yeah, it's not early anymore, right?
Yeah, it's not early. It's late access.
No. Honestly, so the version I played, again, just like this is why I'm so confident. I always have been consistently about Metroid Prime 4. That felt like a completed game, 100%. Like it felt like it had the Nintendo polish on thick. Okay, like it's been sitting there for a while. Hades 2, same thing. Like it felt like a completed game, which is why I really believe that it's not going to be late. I would presume that Hades would be between August and October. So we'll see. Yeah, but it felt completed. That'd be badass if that came out tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
We'll see. I can't wait to see what the 3 games are tomorrow. All right, that's my list. Hopefully we see some of those.
Like literally, please let us see some of those. Don't make it a full farm sim 15 minutes.
I love farming though.
Hey, you look like you're having a good time over there, dude.
Don't sleep on Farming Simulator on Switch 2. Because anyone
Harvest
who plays the
Moon
Tour
12.
knows. Dude, anyone who plays the Welcome Tour, there's a demo where you literally use your Joy-Con as a saw. And it sounds like it, and it's crazy. And it tricks your mind in a way if you've ever played digital pinball. The way digital pinball kind of tricks you into thinking, like I have the arcade one up, Star Wars pinball, right? And you got the solenoids, and it literally tricks you into feeling like it's a real pinball once you start playing it. It was the same thing with this. And when I was looking at the PAX West list of who's going to be there, they're going to be there. Farming Simulator. All I could think is like, dude, that would be such a good hands-on demo for people to try. Like, come over here, try it with the Joy-Cons. You know what I'm saying? That and Power Wash Simulator were the 2 games I was saying that could have the best versions on Switch 2 because of the tech. But we'll see. Don't sleep on the Farming Simulator, the actual farming one. It might be fun. For once.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, tune into the Indie World tomorrow because that's going to be awesome. We'll be live streaming it for sure. Me and Stash are going to be doing it together again like we did for the Direct. I got a feeling this might just become a common theme that me and Stash will be doing all these reactions together, which is all good.
They need to stop making these presentations early in the morning, man. I'm trying to sleep.
Dude, I know. I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. to be live NBA Live at 5.
Yeah, man, crazy stuff.
I know.
You gotta say that. It's like 4 a.m. for me right now, man.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy, 4 a.m.
I'm about to have breakfast on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
You should, man.
Dude, breakfast sounds good. I might have to go make myself some.
Waffles
Everything
sound like they
sounds
get
good
hit
to you
right
right now.
Yeah, everything sounds amazing right now, by the way. Anyways, so yeah, look, guys, Indie World tomorrow. We're all probably going to be reacting or talking about hopefully some cool stuff there. We got to go back to what our original second topic was going to be, though, because the Birdman, I don't know if he was telling the flock to fly away and it was yanking cords, but it is what it is. You're here now. What are we talking about?
So we're going to be talking about the sales data. Sales data is in for Switch 2, baby. These numbers are quite interesting. According to Nintendo Switch 2 sales data, they have sold more than 6 million units in 7 weeks. 6 million units of the Switch 2. Their sell-in for June of Switch 2 is 5.82 million. Software is at 8.67 million, with 5.63 million of that being Mario Kart World for June. So, these are some pretty crazy numbers. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think Nintendo keeps the momentum going? Numbers, thoughts, people, come on, ThunderStash.
Yeah.
Tombstone. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So Yeah, first off, obviously, the numbers are great, right? The first thing that pops out is, again, what we've talked about many times on the podcast, and that's the attach rate for Mario Kart, which, again, all goes back to what I was saying last year, which is Mario Kart is going to be the driver, right, to promote other Nintendo IP, which, again, I'm not budging on that. I still think we're going to get plenty of Mario Kart DLC throughout the Switch 2 life cycle. And this is free advertising for Nintendo when you're literally advertising new IP within your game that has a crazy attach rate like Mario Kart does. Because you're going to get a new cup or new characters, and people who don't know them are going to be like, who's this character? What game are they in? Let me look it up. Oh, maybe I should play this. I haven't heard of this. It's great. Like, easy money right there. So again, this attach rate plays perfectly into that, in my opinion. As far as the momentum, look, you launched a console in the summer, right? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world with obviously the economy, cost of living, tariffs, however you want to break it down. It's not necessarily not the best time, right, to release something expensive. Period. Whatever it is, whatever product it is, people are being squeezed right now. And despite that, breaking records, shattering them, total annihilation. And so I look at that, and it's August. Obviously, we're coming into the big holiday, Christmas, right? 2025 here. It's Mario's 40th. Got the Mario movie we're going to be hearing about soon. I feel like everybody's going to be talking about Nintendo. And I see the momentum continuing. I don't see it dropping off because, look, we're about to get more games announced too. We're going to start getting dates. And it's your first holiday on the market as a new console. We know what that means. But again, there's other factors. We got something like Metroid Prime 4 that the hardcore, me included, have been waiting for a very long time. We got the Zelda fans getting fed. And even if you're a newcomer to the Switch world, you literally have 4 Zelda games. They got a Switch 2 upgrade. So if you haven't played those before, now's a great time to play them. There's a lot of good, positive things going on for Nintendo. Momentum's definitely one of them. But you look at that, you look at Universal Studios and the Donkey Kong exhibit opening, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Masterpiece Theater, everyone's loving it. And you kind of add all those things up, it's like, man, despite the cost of it, despite things that you can't control, like costs in the world, I still think it's going to sell absolute gangbusters, and it's going to continue to in the next year because of the Mario movie in April, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's going to continue to the following year because of Zelda coming out on my birthday, my 42nd birthday on May 7th. You know what I mean? I look at all that stuff. It's like we've never seen Nintendo be able to have a like new console launch and then also all the stuff going on with the theme park to where it's exciting. There's a lot of new things going on. There's new attractions. And then the movie stuff. It's like, not only do we have one coming out that we're waiting for a trailer on that we should get in September, but we already know the release date of the first ever Legend of Zelda movie. There's a lot of excitement just in general around Nintendo. So yes, I think we continue to see the sales numbers grow. I think they're going to break records left and right, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's where I'm at with that. GameBird, you want to talk about the second topic after we've all went, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. ATB. Thoughts on these initial sales?
What do I think? Yeah, it's crazy. I am kind of surprised a little bit. I am surprised because I thought after the Switch, I thought with the Switch 2, that kind of big surprise element was kind of gone, right? Like we knew we were getting, like we'd seen Joy-Cons before, we'd seen the hybrid system before. So by this time, I thought, like I knew it'd be successful, but in my head, I thought it's never going to catch the original Switch. Like I don't even know if I thought it would get close, and especially like it's hard to forget. Oh, it's easy to forget like how much negativity there was, not from Nintendo fans, but from like kind of the people outside of like, you know, Nintendo fans, right? Like it was like with the Switch 1, it was like, oh, it's another gimmick. And then when the Switch 2 was shown, like the people complaining they didn't have enough gimmicks. So there was like that. Then there was the price of the machine people complained about. Then there was the price of Mario Kart that people complained about. And so all of that got me thinking, man, I wonder how this is going to do at launch, you know? So, and then obviously it's done crazy numbers, but even at launch, like there was still negativity, right, from like outsiders, you know. So then we got the negativity with the screen apparently being awful, like if you play it in a dark room at 11%. So like there was that. So but like despite all of this kind of stuff on its back, it's still just like selling and selling. And like I think like Stash is right, because like if Mario Kart is selling this well already, like I think Mario Kart World in 2 years is going to look like a completely different, well, not completely different game, but you know, it's gonna evolve massively, because they can do whatever they want with that map. Like they can treat it like Fortnite and just keep expanding it, create new types of challenges. Like I think it's gonna look vastly different in 2 years. And then like on top of that, whereas like the Switch 1 took like a while to get like a lot of third parties on board, now like I read a week ago, where is it Moon Studios, the guys behind Ori, where they're talking about their next game and they're talking about possibly skipping the Xbox to put it on the Switch.
Yeah.
And place it. Was like that never would have been like imaginable years ago. Like the fact that in the first few months, a developer is already saying that about a Nintendo console is insane. So like I think Stash is right. Like I think I've come to the conclusion where it almost doesn't matter what people throw at it. Like and at the end, it almost doesn't matter about whether it's got gimmicks or not. It always comes down to the games. And this time, Nintendo's going to keep making amazing games. This time, they're going to have more third-party support earlier on as well. So like, and then if you've got like an Xbox that's selling less and less, then they've got less competition. So then I kind of see it as though, yeah, I think they're going to just keep growing and growing and growing. Which is it's just insane to me though, like, considering the higher price and everything else, and the negativity that people just keep finding from somewhere to complain about, but it still just keeps going. So yeah, it's incredible. Like I've kind of learned to not be surprised now, but it's still amazing.
Hell yeah.
Well said.
Nice. Eric, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, seeing these numbers and remembering the amount of bitching that of the prices and stuff, man, it seems like Nintendo made bank on it. So I'm happy for them. I like to see the Switch doing well, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have much. It's sales data.
Do you think they keep the momentum going forward?
I mean, now that they've
that's the bigger
yeah,
question.
right. Now that they've raised the prices on Switch 1, you know, I can see them actually picking up more Switch 2s, like we said earlier, just because of the fact that, you know, it's cost analysis and do I just save up $100 more and get a Switch 2 type of thing.
For sure.
So yeah, I can see them keeping the momentum.
Cool. Darren, what are your thoughts, bud?
Yeah, I think this momentum is going to keep going. So I'm sure most of us got a Switch around launch, but me personally, I only got mine last week. And I was one of the people doing the bitching, we'll say. The whole price thing and everything else going on. I was like, I'll wait, whatever. But I just happened to be in GameStop last week, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I love Nintendo. I'm just going to do it. And I feel like there's got to be way more of me out there that in the coming weeks and months and the rest of the year, especially around the holidays, are going to be like, you know what? That Hyrule Warriors game is coming out, man. I'm gonna pull the trigger on that Switch too. So I really think the momentum is going to keep going. I know that Nintendo said back in May they predicted 15 million units sold in 10 months. So they just sold 6 million in 7 weeks. They have 29 weeks to sell the other 9 million, and I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to hit that mark for sure.
Hell yeah. HMK, what are we thinking, brother?
That's crazy. I thought no one was gonna buy this thing. I'm being sarcastic, by the way, being super sarcastic.
Yeah, right.
That's what everybody was saying. They could have swore to it. It's like, oh man, generational flop and whatnot.
Yeah, my
And,
favorite was that it's gonna sell worse than the Wii U. That was my favorite. I saw
that
a
was
lot of that.
crazy. And the fact that it sold like almost, if not more than half of the Wii U's entire like lifetime sales in like a couple of weeks, it's insane. Because I thought the system was going to have the capacity to sell really, really well, considering what Nintendo's strategy was as soon as we saw the thing in terms of its capabilities, the games they showed off during the review. I mean, like Mario Kart, like a new Mario Kart. I'm like, this thing's going to sell easy. Anyone who thinks it's not going to sell with Mario Kart leading the way is that's crazy to me. And then Donkey Kong got revealed to be like number one in the eShop for like ever since it dropped. So it's still number one for like what like 20 days straight. And this is all happening without new Zelda, without a new Mario, and it's already like getting there. And then of course, like the fact that it's backwards compatible, the Switch 2 upgrades where it's free, $10 and $20. And then the more to come, we got Kirby's Air Rider, we got all this. So like, one, I'm not surprised that it sold this well, especially considering that the original price for it is like $450, which is not, people can try to convince you it's like, oh, that's too expensive. $450 for a console, not that expensive. $80 for a game, yeah, no, I still don't agree with that. And I own Mario Kart World, but hey, guess what? I only paid a $50 difference because I got the bundle, right? But if I didn't get the bundle, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have paid $80 for it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel comfortable paying $80 for a game, any game. $70, it's already pushing it, but like, okay, games have to get more expensive because they have more fidelity, they offer more, blah, 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 blah. But $80, nah. And despite that, Mario Kart World is still like selling like hotcakes, even though people are like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna pay $8 for a game. I'm like, a lot of people are buying it individually without the bundle. So, and that's just the power of Mario Kart. Is this gonna continue with its like momentum? Oh, absolutely, because we've only had Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Bonanza coming from Nintendo as its like original things. I'm not counting Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, or Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm not counting those. So when Nintendo releases things like Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders, and Age of Imprisonment, and apparently there's still games, and so said this already, that there's still games slated for this year coming from them that we don't know about. I'm saying that I'm still saying that like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, especially considering it's the 4th anniversary, that we're gonna get a new Mario game by the end of the year, right? And if that happens, then come on, everyone and their mamas are gonna have
it's game over.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a Switch 2 in their hands. And then I keep saying to people that a lot of times for consoles, a lot of times for products in general, the first year is always the most important. And we're sitting at like more than 6 million units, right now for Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're sitting at more than 6 million units already. And Nintendo's going to hit that number. I feel like they're going to go past that number within 10 months. And next year is going to be even crazier because Nintendo learned with the first Switch. They went in that first year and they did not stop like year after year. Because like, look at that first year for 2017 for Switch. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Xenoblade 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You can argue, but I mean, it's still Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That was like year one. The second, we got Smash Brothers, right? Among everything else in 2018. So like, for me right now, even though we still don't know the full slate of this year's already looking crazy, and next year is just going to look crazier to me. So, yeah.
Totally. Primal. What are we thinking?
So this whole conversation is always fun to me because there were so many people that were saying this thing was going to bomb. I mean, we knew a week, 3.5 million, 4 days. Okay. Yep. totally bombing out. Well, that's just initial sales. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
They bring
the new argument is that it only sold really well because they overly shipped it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just going to completely fall off. That's what everyone's saying. It's going to completely drop off.
Supply and demand. Oh,
Yeah, it's always something. It's always something.
that's crazy.
You know, and to be fair, Nintendo did not increase their projections for how many Switch 2s they plan to sell this fiscal year. So they stayed the same, but it's still 15 million, which is that's a hell of a lot of systems in like what 9-10 months. That said, their sales are obviously looking the record breaking. We've never seen anything like it. Like I think that's what gets understated when you watch people try to downplay it. Is like you realize you're downplaying something that's quite literally never happened. Like just let that register for a moment. Nothing in video game history has sold faster at launch than Nintendo Switch 2. Literally, they've shattered all the records. People just act like it's not a big deal. And by the way, they shattered all those records before the end of June. Like we're in August. You know, like I'm not saying the record-breaking pace is going to continue. We obviously have no idea. It's going to be reliant upon a strong cadence of games and all of that. And right now, drag and drive. No offense, I don't think you're going to move too many units. But yeah, as we're waiting for that next wave of stuff and announcements from Nintendo, I really do think that the sales are in a good place. I don't think there's any other way you could possibly describe it other than good. Hopefully, look, it's really on Nintendo to keep the demand going. So I'm happy where it's at, and I'll just pass on from there because I can ramble because I am gone.
Yeah, guys, I echo everything that's been mentioned so far. I mean, this is wonderful news. No one, regardless of what your primary console is, regardless if you care about Nintendo at all, this should be news that's celebrated because if the Switch 2 is doing well, the video games industry is doing well. This is good for gaming, period. No other way to look at it. You should not be rooting for any console to fail. It hurts the industry. It's silly. No need to bring the console wars back. And I know that it's a small minority online that's very loud. Most people don't share those views. Most people are going into the store and being like, hey, I loved the Switch. I want Switch 2. Or, you know, I've seen new Mario Kart. I want the Switch 2. It's just awesome to see that the console is just hit the ground running, is hitting home runs right from the start. I really believe that they're going to keep the momentum going. If there's one lesson that I think Nintendo learned during the Switch 1, it's that software is what makes or breaks a console. And Switch didn't need to be the most powerful, but it has just look back on the last 8 years and think of all the incredible games that you have at your disposal on the Switch 1. The library is unbelievable. They just need to do that again. And I think they know that. Not to mention Nintendo's at the height of its popularity right now. Nintendo's unbelievably popular right now. They've got the movies coming out. They've got the theme parks. They just opened up the brand new Donkey Kong Land at Universal. We've got rumors of Zelda stuff coming to the attractions and Pokemon. There's a Pokemon park that's opening up. Really, really cool stuff. Nintendo's really, really getting popular. Do they do everything right? No, but they're doing a lot of good things here. Switch 2 is a killer console. I personally never had an issue with the $450 price. I actually thought that was a great price for the Switch. I don't want it to be $500, but I thought when the price was revealed, I was like, oh, this could have been a $500 system. Easy. It could have been. I'm convinced because now. you're getting a it will be now, but what you're getting, the tech and just the hybrid nature, you know, people like to make the Steam comparisons. Switch 2 is better than the Steam Deck. And if you want to add in, the ability to dock to your TV with the Steam Deck, it brings the price above Switch 2. I forget what that add-on is. It's like $80 add-on to play Steam Deck on a monitor or your TV. But
are you bringing the console back?
No. No. I hope not.
Well, the whole Steam Deck versus Switch argument has always been kind of silly to me because
It's silly.
I'm going to buy a Steam Deck to play games on Steam because I like those, and I'm going to buy a Switch to play Nintendo games because I can't play those on my Steam Deck. That's why you buy a Nintendo console, because you love the Nintendo games.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just talking
agree.
about the value for the price. What you're getting out of the box. You're getting a much more powerful and much more capable hybrid console that comes with the dock. It comes with 2 controllers. You get 2 Joy-Cons. Those are each a controller that you can detach, hand one to another person, and play Mario Kart. You don't have to go buy a second controller. So you get 2 controllers, you get the portable nature, and you get the dock. It's a great $450, in my opinion, is a great value. But no, I just think that I think that as long as they keep that flow of good and big IP, if we get a big Zelda announcement for next year and a new Fire Emblem and maybe Splatoon Raiders and maybe even the next 3D Mario, dude, think about what kind of year it is. That's not even including all the cool third-party stuff, because we're already seeing unbelievable third-party support for this console. In the next mainline direct, there's going to be big third-party announcements. They had to get that partner showcase out of the way to get rid of a chunk of great announcements. But I don't know. I feel like they're making a lot of the right moves. I think they're going to keep the ball rolling, the momentum high. And I think next year will be telling, but I have a good feeling about this. I don't know that it's necessarily going to hit Switch 1 numbers because it loses some of the novelty of being a new innovative product. But I think the console's going to kick ass, and I would not be surprised to see Switch 2 hit 100 million, possibly more. But cool. Let's go real quick to the kind of the second part of this topic. Nintendo put out a survey asking people about physical and digital. Or wait, is this right? Am I understanding the notes correctly? Did you guys take part in the survey? What were your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think anything's going to come to fruition from this? Anything good?
I do.
Or what the community would consider good?
I'll just start off by saying, remember that this survey, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but this came out of Japan already. And then it came to the US. I did my survey about 2.5 weeks ago. I know it just hit the internet like a week ago with everyone talking about it, but I got sent it 2.5 weeks ago. Filled it out. I didn't say anything. And obviously everyone started talking about it. And now the survey's taken down. So this is why you probably shouldn't say anything if you're trying to make a difference, right? But I totally filled it out. They asked you the same question multiple times in different ways, like you'd expect if you're taking some sort of assessment. One of the things I found interesting that they had asked when it comes to physical and digital is they asked what my thoughts were on buying games digitally at a retail store and why I would do it and if I've ever done it. And I said, funny you bring that up because I did just do this for the first time ever. But because it's a real one-off scenario where Best Buy had the deal where every $150 you spend, you get $20 back. So now I'm like, okay, how can I build my receipt? How can I make it bigger without buying something that I don't want because that's stupid? And now it goes against the whole point. But then I'm like, okay, Drag X Drive, no, I'm going to get that. Mario Party Jamboree TV expansion, no, I'm going to get that. Welcome to, I know I'm getting that. Kirby expansion. So I bought all these digitally from Best Buy, which I've never done before, because why would you? However, I did it because it gave me money in return from Best Buy. So I did explain to Nintendo that, hey, this was the scenario, so it made sense. However, guys, how many times is this going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years? I don't know. Maybe 0. So would I continue doing that? No. And I thought that was an interesting question. And then they ask you the same thing. So they ask you all the questions for yourself, and then they ask you the same questions if you're buying the gift for somebody else. And then they ask you, why did you answer it this way? Or why was it the same? And I was like, look, whatever I buy for myself, I'm going to do the same thing if I'm giving it as a gift. Like if I wouldn't personally buy a physical game with a code in the box, right? Like with Tony Hawk, that's just a code. It's not even a key card. I wouldn't personally buy that. So would I personally give that to somebody else? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't give that to someone. Would you feel proud giving that to someone? No.
I think they'd be better off adding an option in the eShop to gift a game to a friend.
Thank you.
I think that's
said
the
that.
better option.
I was literally bringing this
I
up
said that.
earlier in my previous stream. I'm like, why doesn't Nintendo do this? Like,
well, they did. You guys all remember during the Nintendo Wii era,
The
you could
Wii
gift
era, yeah.
games, and I did that. I literally did that because I was recommending games to like family, right? That is on the Wii virtual console that they haven't heard of, because they were starting to release some games that the hardcore know. Like for instance, I remember when they released like Sin and Punishment. That was previously only available in Japan. I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta play this game, right? And so I was gifting games that were just unusual, but I knew were very good. I think the same went for like the TurboGrafx version of Castlevania, right? That only came out on TurboGrafx, games like that. So it made sense. And I was like, I was a teenager then. Like, one teenager, I was 18, 19. And I was using that. You guys should do that again. I would much rather be like, hey, I'm not gonna go drive 50 miles round trip to go to Best Buy to buy you a plastic box with a code in it and give it to you, and then buy wrapping paper, which, again, nothing's cheap anymore, and wrap it just to give it to you for you to find out that there's no game in the box. I would much rather just give it to you digitally and let you be surprised the next time you boot up your Switch and you see there's a new game on there and it says, like, it shows up as a present icon, like the 3DS did whenever you add anything new.
Yeah.
And then it's a gift from me with a little note from me. Like, that would be really cool and convenient.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that.
Especially for, well, in my opinion, for like indie games. We get so many great indie games, a lot of hidden gems, ones that fall through the cracks. And I know I've like suggested indies to friends, like my best friend. He just never gets around to picking it up. And I'm like, man, like, I like one in particular that I know a couple of my buddies would have loved that I totally would have gifted, Katana Zero, which is rad, such a sick game.
Devolver,
just to be able to gift that and be like, here you go, thank me later,
Yeah, totally, dude. And that, you bring up a great point with indies, because again, so many of them will never get physical releases, or if they do, it's going to be boutique-y, like limited run. And look, I like limited run, but I also understand their business model, and that if you buy a game, don't sit there looking at the calendar, man. Like, don't be counting down days for when you're going to get it. It arrives when it arrives. If I'm buying something from there, I already own it digitally. I've already played it and beat it. I'm literally buying it to support the studio. So all how you look at things, but being able to buy indie games would be massive, because so many people don't know about them unless you're thick in the game like we are, and you know about all these indie games and you really care. But they ask you a lot of questions on physical and digital and what you prefer and why you prefer it. And they have a list of drop downs, like, Steve, you said you prefer physical over digital. Is it because you like collecting games? Like you're a collector. Is it because you feel like owning it, like physically, gives you more ownership versus digitally? And there's a list of options, right? And I answered them exactly how you guys would probably presume. that I would answer them, and I gave very thorough reasonings when they asked me to explain in detail, which I always do on all the Nintendo surveys, because look, man, if you do want to make a difference in a productive way, not the lower the price way in chats, but in a productive way, when they ask you for your feedback and they truly want it because they need to assess these things, that's when you really want to articulate the whys behind it. I look at it exactly how I did as a manager and in training. Always explain the whys. If you ask for something, tell them why you want it this way, or tell them why, so they can see the big picture for us. Because maybe they don't understand. Maybe that is why they're asking. It's because I want it on my shelf. Is it because I feel like with digital, I can't trust it, that you might take it away from me one day because this keeps happening? Even though it doesn't happen a lot, it's happening, which is scary, right? Is it because I think the eShop might close down? Me? No, personally, no. That's not a concern of mine, but it is of other people. But Nate keeps telling people you can still buy games or redeem your games on the Wii eShop, even though the Wii hasn't been supported in forever. So, but people don't understand this, which is why they want feedback. So it's very good. And were you going to talk about the different cart sizes? That report?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah.
All right. I'll just say it real quick. I'm very excited about the different cart sizes. Look, we have 64 right now, and the key card. I would love to see 32, 16, and 8. There's a lot that are under 8. I mean, even Nintendo has games that are under 8 or between 8 and 16. If there's savings that can be had there, let's make it happen. And maybe take it a step further. Is it possible to do 128? Would it be too much money? Which again, it might be, because if we're looking at $16 for a 64, it might be, and then that would have to be passed on to us, the consumer. So maybe that's not a good idea, and you do a key card for it, whatever. But I look at the indies, right, who all have much smaller file sizes, game sizes, and you can't ask an indie to who for them to have a game released digitally and then get a physical release because they were so successful. That's usually how it happens 90% of the time. And then now you're saying I got to put it on cartridge if anybody wants to buy it, and that's $16. And then you start looking at your cost sheet, and you're really not making any money. You could actually be losing money by doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see that. That's my answer.
Very good. Anyone else want to jump in on the survey? Did they do it? Do you think it's going to make a difference? As well as touching on the cart sizes.
So I did the survey. A lot of my answers were pretty similar to Stash. I had a few different reasons I gave for different choices I made when they gave their feedback, because I always feel like that's where you get the real feedback in. Whether or not anyone actually reads all the stuff, who knows? But hopefully someone's listening and is, there's no point to even do the survey if no one's going to at least compile the stats. So I feel like Nintendo is just trying to feel out things right now with this whole physical digital thing. If there are new cart size coming, as the report suggests, that would kind of tell you Nintendo's already kind of figured they got to diversify that and give more options for third parties. But yeah, I really like what Nintendo is doing here, and how detailed they were trying to get in. Hey, is there a situation where you would buy physical more than digital? Like there was the one about like, if you're going to buy it as a gift, would you do this? Would you do that? I kind of went in the opposite direction of Stash on that one though, because I'm like, I like handing them something tangible I can hold on to,
I did too, but not for the code in the box.
No, not the code in the
for
box.
Everything else. And I said that too. Like, I want to gift someone a physical game because it is tangible.
Yeah,
right?
it's something nice about that. It feels like feels more thoughtful, even if it's the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
it's the same reason why it feels better handing someone a birthday gift or a Christmas gift that's an item that they can unwrap as opposed to giving someone like an Amazon gift card, you know?
Exactly.
yeah, it just feels more personable.
Yeah.
What? The survey was great. The big thing in there is how quickly they shut it down once it started getting spammed. I'm like, I think they got enough responses. I think they get it, guys. Pretty sure it was getting spammed with physical all the way. I got it.
Did anyone else here fill out the survey?
I didn't know.
No, I didn't myself either.
But
I
am happy that this survey is out. I specifically the content, the questions. It just, to me, it shows that Nintendo still does have their ear to the ground, and it means a lot that there's an official means of communication like that they've opened up. Nate, what are you doing?
What? I'm interacting with my chat. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I had on that.
Yeah. I didn't fill out the survey either. Not because I didn't want to. Got a lot of stuff going on in the background, very busy lately. And by the time I found out about the survey, it was too little too late, unfortunately. But hearing those questions from you, Stash, and from you, Nate, I'm glad that it was that thorough. I didn't realize it was that thorough. So that's good. That's good to hear. Was there a lot of the those boxes to really type out?
I typed out a handful.
You weren't too limited on characters or anything.
No,
because I know you're a thorough person, so
I
imagine, yeah.
They don't have a character limitation because I do this on all the answers that I fill out. I give great detail because obviously it's something that I'd like to see change. Obviously for us, so yeah, they don't do that, thankfully.
That's awesome. So, for the guests, do you think this will turn into anything positive? At least with the cartridge size possibility, combined with the fact that they're asking players what they prefer.
Honestly, I hope so. But I've seen not only with just with Nintendo, but like a bunch of different companies that they put out survey after surveys, like, hey, we really enjoy your input. I mean, yeah, they're trying to gauge what everyone's thinking, but are they gonna, actually change anything like that when they see that the money flow does not change? If anything increases, then they're probably not gonna change anything in anytime soon, especially if the survey just came out or whatnot. If they decide to do anything, is probably gonna be the terrain in terms of their cash flow and logistics and all that stuff. But if they do, then I'm glad to be wrong, because this whole cartridge situation in terms of how much of a game could be on a cartridge, or how much space the cartridges have, and then combine that with the whole game key card situation, I just would like for developers, not only at Nintendo, but third party as well, having more options to be able to put their game physically, then buy things and stuff, either getting a code or a piece of plastic that doesn't really have the game on it. And at the same time, I feel that other developers, especially if they were developing for Switch 1, they got to compress their games, man. Just optimize that stuff. I don't know, have Nintendo sit down with them and explain how they are able to magically turn a game that was once 50 gigabytes into 6. But I don't know. I'm just I'm kind of cynical when it comes to these things, especially when it comes to surveys and whatnot, because it could really give companies an idea of what people are thinking. But at the same time, as we've seen with this survey, got shut down because it's being spammed and whatnot. And hopefully it was being spammed because of the ideas we want physical media, which is always good, right? But at the same time, there's always people that could get access to these things that just, either give companies the wrong idea if they decide not to take a second opinion or to read the terrain by other means, and then or just spoil the fun for everybody else. But that's where I'm currently at and whatnot. But I do have to say, unfortunately, I was here much longer, but I do have to dip only because I want to wake up for the thing tomorrow, and it's getting kind of late for me over here.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get my word in on that. But thank you all so much for coming out. And I will
they
be
don't
back
call you
soon. The
slippery dippery for nothing.
But,
Yeah.
I'm slipping out. I'm dipping out. But this is gonna be like the new. Every time I come in, it's gonna be longer. Trust me, longer staying. So I gotta be out. All of y'all take care. It was really nice seeing all y'all again. And
Have a good night, brother.
Cheers, man.
Go on, man.
Enjoy the show.
Hey, let me ask real quick. So, did everyone is everyone aware about Macronex and the report?
Read about that today, yeah.
It came out. Yeah. So just so everyone in the chat knows too, their quarterly earnings report said that they will start using MLC NAND and 3D NAND to meet varying capacity requirements. And obviously this update, as I'm literally reading Super Metal Dave 64's tweet that I replied to, but this could hint that the Switch 2 will get more cart storage sizes beyond the current 64 gig in the future, which is why I do put more stock into the survey, because there's things going on that we don't see as the consumer in the background, like this here. And if there's money on the table, if there's more money to be made and it's not being made because there's not options, then that's when something actually does change and the surveys actually do matter. Because look, most time surveys are bullshit. We know that. I do take it a little different when it's from Nintendo though. And there's also things going on in the background. You're on mute.
There's one other survey I've got to mention, not Nintendo related, but just to show like surveys can be a sign
The
of
Family
things
Feud?
to come. No, close. No, Capcom dropped a survey that I definitely partook in, asking about some of their dormant IP and which IP we would like to see come back. Two of the games on there were games that I have been begging to see make their triumphant return. Onimusha, one of my favorite series of all time from the PS2 era, and Okami, a game that was on the PS2, the Wii, and is now on modern hardware. So these can lead to something. I as much as I love to see that survey drop, and I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean it's happening? I was 99% sure we wouldn't see either of those two IP again, and in the end, I was the fool. So this could be something really, really cool, and especially with the cartridge size, because I know that's definitely a limitation for a lot of developers. The thing that I'm struggling with, because I'm a collector like you, Stash. You guys can't see this. The wall that I'm facing is all my physical games. I've got multiple shelves with all my physical games. Obviously, any mainline Nintendo game, first party, I'm buying physical this gen. But I thought so much about this, and I think that I think this might be my last gen that I do physical, because this is something I brought up on a previous show. I think when Switch 2 was first announced, when we first discussed the keycard situation. The problem with sticking with physical, and as much as it pains me to say this, is that eventually we're going to get left behind. And what I mean by that is eventually, whether it's next gen for Nintendo or the gen after, same goes for Sony and Microsoft, they're going to release digital only consoles. No cartridge slot, no disc drive. And anyone who's built their entire backlog on physical media is going to be left behind. You're going to be reliant on using hardware from the past, and you have to hope that stuff stays in good shape, continues to work. And if you take good care of it, it should. But it's just something to consider. Eventually, they'll move on without you. And if you want, if things stay backwards compatible, having those digital titles carried over into the next gen is going to be a huge advantage. I don't know how they're going to bridge the gap. I don't know if the first time they go all digital, they add that, sold separately expansion, cartridge expansion, disk drive sort of thing. You could buy a disk drive right now with Sony consoles. I don't know how they bridge the gap, or they just be like, we just got to cut the cord.
Yeah,
Sucks.
no backwards
It sucks.
compatibility this time, right?
But eventually we get left behind. I think about this all the time. So I would love to see Nintendo make the stronger push. I don't want physical media to go away, but no matter how much I pray for it to stay, it's inevitable. It's the death march. So I've made the choice that this is my last gen. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a hypocrite and I'll still buy physical media and say this time for sure is the last time, but I don't want to get left behind. I love backwards compatibility. That's a huge draw for me. I have attack the backlog. It's in the name. I've been trying to attack the backlog on my Switch too. I've been playing through old games that I never finished, starting games that have been shrunk wrap that I just never got around to. I still want to play the Xenoblade Chronicles X Remaster. I was waiting for Switch 2. I'm waiting for that performance
patch,
boost.
baby. I'm still waiting for it too. It's coming.
So these are just things that I think about. I don't want you guys to get left behind. I'm not trying to tell you guys to go digital, but it's something that you should at least be thinking about, because I know there's going to be that shock. There's going to be that shock, that oh my god feeling when you find out it's digital only unit and there's no attachment to play your physical games. So
it's well depressing, man.
I know.
I was in a good mood like 5 minutes ago. It's all over. We're gonna be left behind. It's gonna be
we're a dying breed.
We are.
Oh man! But unless Nintendo's the only one left doing physical, then maybe they get the advantage because they're the only ones doing it. Like I don't know.
I agree with that. I've said that too. They get to own the retail space.
It's like with like the exclusives now, right? With like Xbox and Sony losing exclusives, like Nintendo's exclusives now look even more valuable because they're increasingly the only ones having them. So if like in 10 years' time, they're the only ones having boxes, that's gonna like to some people, that's gonna be like, oh damn, wow, like
shelf space, foot traffic. Then the retailers start reducing their share because they say, hey, dude, we need one of you to be here.
Yeah.
What if we cut you a deal, right?
Yeah.
Because we need that foot traffic. Otherwise, I mean, you think about it, how many times you went to the store to go pick up a game physically? And that's literally, that's what you went there for.
Yeah.
There's no other reason you'd go.
Yeah.
But now that you have my foot traffic, I may stop over here and see what's over there and what's over here. Maybe I'll end up buying a couple other things. Dude, they rely on that foot traffic. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, GameBird.
I do agree. I've always believed Nintendo would be the last to go.
Yes.
They'd be the last hurrah for physical collectors. I still believe that. But I don't know. It's scary, man.
You know what though? Like it's really depressing because I was with the Switch One, I was almost maybe 95% of my games were digital on the original Switch, which is the first time I'd ever done that. And then towards the end of the Switch One, I started to really regret it. I'm looking at Stash's background now with all those games, and like I used to have that kind of background with DVDs and Blu-rays, and then I end up selling all of them. And like the other day, like I go to Prime or Netflix to watch a film I've got in my mind, and they don't have it. I go for another film, they don't have that film either. I forgot, if I had that collection, I could just watch it anytime I want. And I feel like the same now with games. It's like I don't have to re-download something that's 60 gigs or every time I want to play something in the library. I just want to have them there. But I know what you're saying. I feel like I'm maybe in the minority. I think you're right. I think most people, especially young people, like people in their teens,
dude, kids
just know digital.
Kids hate physical media.
They hate physical.
They hate it. They literally hate it. Yeah.
I talked to my cousin about that at Thanksgiving a couple of years ago. He was talking about going over to some girl's house. So, I was proud of him. I'm like, oh, great. Now you're dating girls. Excellent. How's that going? Right. And he said something about going over to watch a movie. And I said something to him about bringing a movie over. He's like, what do you mean bringing a movie over? Like, bring my Xbox over? And I looked at him just like, what? He's like, my movie's on the Xbox. No, like the disc. He's like, I don't have that. Nobody does that. I'm like, I do. And he's like, what? He said something like, how do I even know if she has like a Blu-ray player or something? I'm like, I mean, that's true. And I'm just thinking like, these kids don't know any of this anymore. Like, yeah, he made me, this was quite a few years ago. God, he made me feel old as hell. I'm like, geez. Yeah, I guess it's true.
Just to bounce off of that story, Stash, I'm thinking of like, even like friends in my age group that I've like been to their place. I with a few exceptions, I feel like, but I don't know if most of them have any way to play some physical movies. To be honest with you, I don't know if they have a device in their home that can play a physical movie. That's interesting.
That's crazy. I'm going the other way. Like, I went on Amazon a week ago and I bought like an old cassette Walkman because they,
hell yeah,
yeah. And I bought that. I bought like an Eminem album. I was like, oh, I missed that sound.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Dude,
that static sound before
I got a working VCR, baby.
Yeah,
dude. I spent hours on eBay sifting to find the perfect VCR for my game room. Because I very much like, I love the 80s stuff. Yeah. So I needed something that had that like strong 80s aesthetic, kind of like futuristic, but also that kind of dated future look.
Yeah.
I found it and I love it. I use it all the time. I watch in fact I just had the other day Batman Returns. Playing on it the other day.
Good one to watch on VHS.
Yeah.
I can imagine some teenagers scrolling past now. Like, what the hell are these guys chatting about?
We had to rewind.
I always host Christmas at my house with the family, and I have the furniture style CRT.
Oh, yes.
In the living room.
Cabinet, like the oak cabinet.
Yeah, exactly what it is. So I got the 85 on the wall, and I have that TV right there, and I always turn it on for Christmas. And I got the VHS player. I have Home Alone, of course, on VHS. I got, the Santa Claus Christmas Vacation on VHS. And so I put all the older Christmas movies on the CRT. It's something just magical about it. Like, it hits different.
Dude,
it truly
I know
does.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I need to get the 90s Mario movie to bring it back to Nintendo. The 90s Mario movie on VHS.
So good.
Roll out the furry TV and have it playing in the background during one of the podcasts. Would be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We need that Saved by the Bell, like pink mist, like
yeah.
All right, are we moving on?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that gets to me. I'm just gonna go to the super chats and hope someone had a good topic in there because I can't think straight.
Dude, I gave you an amazing topic.
I know you did, and I already forgot it.
Twitter chat.
Oh, whatever. Pippuccino, became a member. Thank you so much. But then we got Corey Bohm. What does everyone think is the chance of a general direct in August to announce a September release from Nintendo?
It's the August direct to announce the September direct.
I'll just say that I still look at it as like Nate, we were talking. Where is Elden Ring going to be playable at? Is it in Canada?
The Canada event, Fan Expo. Yep.
Yeah. So the Fan Expo, Elden Ring is going to be playable, right? And I don't think you have it playable unless there's a release date out there. Now, obviously, that's not an end all be all, but that is preferred. Otherwise, everyone is going to ask you. Everyone that goes up to the demo station, when is the release date? the poor person running the station is going to get pressed the whole time. And so if you're taking a game on tour, for instance, if it's there, I think it's going to Seattle next to PAX. I fully expect it. Bandai Namco's there. Same thing. You're gonna get hassled the whole time about what the release date is, which is why I put more stock into seeing a direct in August to get these dates out there. People got to put the pre-orders down too. Can't sleep on the pre-orders, right?
All right.
Nailed it.
Next, Demonic Brawler. Every week, bring back NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, NHL hits. Bring them back, damn it.
Yeah, but not NBA Bounce. That does not count for NBA Jam.
Oh my gosh.
Are you gonna review NBA Bounce stuff?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
OG games?
thought his mic was about to cut off there, and absolutely.
No, absolutely not. I don't buy OG games, dude. No.
TJ says he's not gonna lie, he's bummed the new Super Mario Bros collection was fake. Yeah, I didn't report on it. It was pretty obvious to me from the get-go it was fake, but it just be obviously it's totally fake. One thing we're not sure about though is some Mario Wonders getting new content made, according to Nash Weedle.
Hey, GameBird, what did I say in your video a month ago?
That we're definitely not getting new content for. So I'm kidding. No, literally, not just in my video a month ago. You've been saying it for, I think, since Switch 2 was announced. Yeah.
Fully expected.
Since we saw that lineup, you were talking about new Super Mario Bros. Wonder and getting additional content on that one.
It was held out of the Switch 2 free upgrades for an expansion, just like Kirby got, just like Mario 3D World. Yeah, very excited about that.
Yep.
Now we know who Nash Weedle's source is. On the Dash all along.
I'm seeing a pattern.
We are on the same page often, which is cool. I will say that.
Well, whoa, that he doesn't want to give away the plot. He really is the source. Okay. No.
ThunderStash is Nash Weedle. The guy who's been on ATV's channel is just a plant.
Yeah.
Next up we have Sky Sword Alyssa. Oh my god, thank you all so much. She was here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're still watching, but seriously, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be liking those photos later once I'm done with the show.
I told Alyssa that Michaela and I have talked and said if we ever have a girl, she has agreed to this already, which is great news for me, to name her Zelda. My last name is Zimmerman. Zelda Zimmerman. Dude, badass, right?
That's pretty badass.
I can't believe she said yes to that. So never wanted to actually have a girl so bad. I had to tell Alyssa because obviously that Triforce ring is.
Yeah, Triforce ring is badass, right?
Yeah.
All right, Demonic Brawler says the problem is Nintendo considered Joy-Cons as 2 controllers instead of 1. So they want twice the amount they're worth.
I mean, technically they are 2 controllers. But I hear you. I hear they're expensive. But technically they are 2 controllers.
They want you to think they're 2. No, they're literally 2 controllers. That is a fact. Yeah. Together maybe better than separate, but
yeah. They're 2 controllers that you could use as 1 controller.
Look at this. We're getting too fancy now for my brain to keep up. Demonic Brawler again. As a Switch 2 owner and a Nintendo fan, I can honestly say Switch 2 is basically 10 times better than the Switch 1, except for one key issue, and that's the requirement for micro SD Express only. It is interesting that they don't let you use like normal SD ones if just how you can only store Switch 1 games on it. Because the Express was because you get these AAA games coming over and they need these faster read speeds. They need them. So I I don't like that it's required, but it would be really confusing if it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like if you could use any micro SD card, but these ones only work with Switch 1, and then these ones work with Switch 2 games. Like, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that. See, we had a new member, EXPD X Bear, and then he also gifted a member as well. Thank you so much for that. A few super chats. I mean, all later. Then he super chatted after that. So,
right.
Would be wild if still is shown tomorrow. Yeah. Absolutely would be wild.
Right.
And then problem now is there we go.
This guy's a liar.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more from him though. I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Like he thought like he had to have a super chat for every line he says.
It's one of those, he's still in bed and he's like, yeah, I'm not sleeping yet. Let me drop another one. Demonic Brawler. What do game
what game do you
What games?
It's more likely to get game specific direct? Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Air Riders, or both?
Both.
Oh, good question. Let me ask you this.
I think they both need one.
Yeah.
Does Kirby Air Riders get a traditional direct or a Sakurai Presents? Like Smash
Sakurai
Bros?
Presents.
He'll do a
That'd be
Sakurai
cool.
Presents.
That's what I was thinking too.
That'd be cool.
All the way.
It would be cool.
Kirby needs it because we're getting 2 Nintendo racers in 1 year, but we also have a Sonic racing game coming out.
I agree.
You need to convince people why should I get Kirby Air Riders when I could play Mario Kart World? So I think that's
Garfield.
Why I need
Garfield Kart 2.
And Garfield Kart 4.
Hopefully M&M Racing as well. I hope that comes out.
Yeah.
Look, Kirby Air Ride came out the year I graduated high school, which was 22 years ago in 2003. Kids don't know what this is. They're not playing GameCube. They're not hooking up the RCA cables to a TV that they have that has even RCA inputs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not playing this. The only way they're playing it is if it's on NSO, and it's not, which means they need to learn about this game if they want to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely needs some form of direct.
Yep. And we need a new Excitebots racing game. Do you guys remember that from the Wii?
Yeah,
The game was amazing.
Of course, I remember the E3 presentation with Excite Truck, and what was Reggie saying about it? It's some classic line, I forget.
Yeah.
Big
we also need a
trucks or
Deadly
something.
Creatures too, with Billy Bob Thornton returning.
Deadly Creatures?
Yeah, it was a Wii
Was that
game. You play as-
Activision?
I don't know who made that one, but you play as like a scorpion and a tarantula.
I remember it.
And it's Billy Bob Thornton's like the guy who lives in the house.
Rainbow Studios and THQ.
THQ, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That'd be cool.
All right. Next. Will you all have a possible Mario anniversary direct prediction topic on a future episode of the podcast? Yeah, we've had talks about it, like, closer we get to September.
Yep.
Oh, that was a giggle. Shit.
It's because I was looking at you the whole time, and it looked like you were looking down at this square. So was he looking at me? I can't tell.
Yes, actually, I was. I was looking for body reaction.
I literally looked up like that, and it looked like we were like making eye contact. He's trying to psych me out.
Yeah, you see ATV doing the collar pull with the wipe of the sweat.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm in a new plane of existence, and while I'm here, you don't know what kind of trickery I'm pulling out my ass.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, we have absolutely we don't know exactly which week we're gonna do it. Kind of let the month play out a little bit, but it'll definitely be before we get to September. Demonic Brawler is predicting Professor Layton for tomorrow. Okay.
I like that.
I don't see why not. They are independent. Right. Karkum. Me love 3 good indie shadow drops. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me love too.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what they are.
Me love long time. Brawler. Anyone else wonder when we'll get a new game added to Retro Realms? Oh, curious what game that would be.
I reviewed that game on my channel. I really liked Retro Realms, and I was excited to see what IPs they were going to add into it. Huh.
All right.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they're still doing it.
I hope so.
But it's been on sale physically on Woot for like $14.99, which means it didn't sell.
GameBird's Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Thank you. Yes, that was the board game that was comparing that indie to Blueprints. Thank you. Great board game.
The Precinct or Deliver at all costs. I'm just reading what it says. I don't know if that's the right word. Okay.
Yep, I'm lost on that one.
Yeah, I'm lost on that one too because I don't think that's correct. But
I think it's a riddle.
Well, right now it's not a great time for riddle.
We'll help you.
Except for that one.
Know what the hell, except for that one. I don't know about that one.
I'm only going to hear like a word here or there, and I'm going to say like one thing that each of you said that's going to be completely wrong.
Yes.
All right. Calculator Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Yes.
Man, the collector in me would buy that. Yeah, I would buy a Nintendo Switch 2 calculator.
Especially if it was solar. Remember those solar calculators?
Especially. Right. And it comes with the sundial.
Yeah.
How long ago did you play the Silksong demo? June 2019.
Oh man, that's so cool that you got to play that.
Yeah.
6 years ago. That's really cool.
Right. I don't think anything that demo probably still in the game at this point, but I don't know. I watched the demo footage like once a day, every day, ever since they started saying Silksong was going to be at Gamescom. So I'm like, okay, I want to see if the footage matches what I played. It'll be hilarious. It's the same demo,
right?
Guys, how does Silksong live up to the hype with how long the development's been?
It doesn't.
You know, Hollow Knight was great. Like, I love Hollow Knight, but it wasn't like revolutionary. How does Silksong live up to the hype? Is this going to be another like? Is it going to be another like Hellblade 2 scenario where it's like its fame has gone beyond what it could potentially be? I don't know. Interesting
I think there will be people that will be purposefully extra critical
Sure.
because this is how they operate. Although I don't agree with that. This is just how their mind works. I think we could see some people actually pulling that as well with Prime 4.
Sure.
You know, and giving biased reviews, possibly docking points for silly reasons because it was in development for so long and they're maybe personally upset about it. I could definitely see that happening, sadly, but you know, that's why you can't put stock in everybody.
That's true.
All right. Nintendo Ninja's Prime says Eric should share in your joy of spicy.
I did.
He
it
did
was not
earlier.
spicy, and it was not good.
No, it's gross.
It is.
And I get to do a probably $20 super chat, so that makes me happy. So it's gone. Pluggy69, Waiver Raid and Pie. Oh, thank you, man. Waiver Raid.
No, Waverade.
Waverade.
It was a spin-off series.
Yeah.
Oh, well, learn something new every day.
Or is that the Spanish version?
ATB?
What was it? The spicy vodka? What did you call it?
Oh, serious. I gotta stop. Holy shit. What is happening? A new reality.
Waverade. What does that mean? You're bilingual.
That's not Spanish. In Spanish, that I would read that "waverede," but that's not a word.
Is that the Spanish version of wave rates, or
what is going on? Oh my god. Way too high for this shit right now. Brax 32 just did $1.30. That might have been to get to
I believe
the streak,
so.
I believe.
Yep.
Demonic Brawler, I would 100% agree with GameBird. Unfortunately, he was talking the truth. It sucks, but it's going to happen. Kids nowadays don't know about that shock we all got when Blockbuster closed down.
Yeah.
Dude,
Still hurts.
that was, man.
Just think if they would have bought
Blockbuster days. That was such a golden time, man. I remember renting Mega Man X on the SNES so many times at Blockbuster.
Mhm.
The guy was like, "Why don't you just buy this game, dude?"
Oh yeah, it was the best. You know, I got a funny story about Blockbuster. I'll just share real quick. Someone left a comment on one of my videos. It was by Donkey Kong Review. He said, "Why do you?" Something to the fact like, "Why do you call it SNES?" And he spelled it out SNEHSS. And why don't I say SNES? And he said, "I don't know why, but it really bothers me." And I'm like reading the comment, just laughing, like, like, okay. And so I reply, and then he replies back again. I said, this guy's, whoever it is, persistent, right? I said, look, here, you earned yourself a story. I'm going to tell you why I call it this now. And it all started when my cousin Jim and I rented Earthbound from Blockbuster. And I see the main character's name is Ness. And of course, I'm like, it's like NES, but with an extra S. And so from that day forward, the NES, or the SNES was now, or the NES, because of NES, I called the Super Nintendo now SNES instead of SNES. Was because of Earthbound, because of the main character. And of course, I don't know if this person knows what Earthbound is, because again, this game hadn't, 30 years ago. Are you familiar with Earthbound? Right? Did you know that the guy from Smash Brothers had his own game back in the day? These are valid questions, right? I don't know what the age of this person is, so I kind of have to explain things in detail because I don't know. But I was like, yep, that's the story. That's why I call it that. So there you go.
You're right.
I hope it doesn't bother you anymore.
Right. Michael Lorenz II says, which Zelda game has your favorite ending, excluding Ocarina of Time, which a certain host can't remember. We don't want to ruin it for him.
It's funny. I saw that come in earlier and was laughing.
Yep. Yep.
So, guys, which one's your favorite Zelda ending?
Easy for me. Wind Waker, my favorite Zelda. The ending is beautiful. That final, like the final monologues with Ganondorf that he has. You feel the pain, the passion, the nostalgia of what used to be. It's just a wonderful moment, especially like that setting on top of the tower. It's pouring rain. It's just it's beautiful.
Anyone else?
Twilight for me, like it's my favorite Zelda, even above Ocarina. I love Ocarina, but Twilight is just, oh man, it's probably my favorite art styles. Probably my favorite battle with Ganon. Some of my favorite music. I love that game so much. But the dungeons and the weapons, just everything about that game. I literally waiting still for the HD version. Just want it now.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
Twilight Princess has, in my opinion, the coolest item that Link has ever had in his arsenal. And it upsets me. The spin top.
Oh my god, yes.
It upsets me so much that this item has never made a return, but it also bothers me. I wish there's some great utilization for it. Obviously, that boss, it's very easy, but zooming around the tower is so epic and iconic. Yeah. It was such an underutilized item and one that I hope sees the light of day again in the Zelda game. It's so cool. Just had to throw that out there.
I'll take a stab at this. So outside of Ocarina of Time, it's tough, man. It's between Zelda 1, since that was my first ever, Nintendo game that I got for myself, my 5th birthday. Just because there was so much unknown. There's no guides. Nobody I knew at that age was playing Zelda. My brothers couldn't beat it. They were surprised how far I got. Everything was a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like the riddle that you have to navigate in Zelda 1 to get out of the woods
Mm-hmm.
and into the cemetery. I look at things like how you had to play the flute to get to, was it level 7? Look at how you had to find level 8 by burning a bush. And then level 9, you had to bomb one of the 2 boulders up by Death Mountain. But then the music too, when you get into that level, it's different from the dungeon music in the other levels, and it's intense. And just that feeling of beating Zelda for the first time, that's high up on the list. It's between that and A Link to the Past. Because like going up to Death Mountain, right?
Yeah.
And it's storming in the background. Your CRT TV's like lighting up from it, from the lightning. It's epic, dude. The whole game is epic, right? With the light world and the dark world, and that is my favorite 2D Zelda. So
it's a perfect
between
game.
those. Yeah, they're all so good.
It's
Even
a perfect game.
I love Twilight for all those reasons you said. Attack the Backlog, and I can't wait to return to it in HD. I've been holding off because of that. And then Wind Waker too. Like I remember getting to the end and the way the color palette changed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like,
so good.
Yeah. And I remember playing that in 2003 when I had first moved out. I was 18, had my own apartment. I'm playing on my, flat screen CRT. And it was just like, so it was mind boggling how cool it was, dude. Getting to that point. I have so many fond memories from Zelda, so I could talk all day. I'm probably a bad guy to ask.
How about Darren, Mr. Former Zelda Informer?
I'm gonna say it's probably recency bias, but I'm gonna say Tears, like Eric was saying. I know a lot of people have a lot of critiques about that final boss fight, but I thought it was epic, dude. I felt great while I was in that boss fight. It was majestic, to say the least. So I think maybe over time my opinion will change as I replay Zeldas, but right now Tears is at the top of my list for that.
Nice.
Awesome. Look, there's only one game where it ends where Link gets the girl. Zelda 2, baby.
Zelda 2. How did I know you were
that?
going to say that?
Like the greatest ending of all time.
It is really good.
Now, on a more serious note, because there's not a whole lot of story, I just like that Link gets the girl at the end. Majora's Mask, the ending of Majora's Mask. Especially when you're actually listening to what all the children say, of the moon say and stuff, and all of a sudden it's like it screws with your mind, and you start looking at the game entirely differently than you had been the whole adventure. And it leaves you with a lot more questions than answers. And Nintendo never does that, like any of their games. But
that game has a really good credit roll too.
Yes,
all the scenes that happen during the credits is really good in Majora's Mask.
Yeah, so that's mine.
So, guys, can we? I know this is a behind the scenes question, but I'm going to ask here. Zelda's my favorite series. Can we plan like a Zelda focused episode for the 40th? Can we just do an all Zelda topics episode?
I think we have to.
Yeah, like I don't know.
It would be disrespectful to the IP to not do that being a Nintendo podcast, right?
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure it's not just one topic. I feel like we should just go all out. Let's just do a Zelda blowout show.
That'd be awesome.
Movie is a topic. 2D, 3D.
We have so many topics.
Remakes.
Remakes.
As someone
Boom.
who used
There's
to
your
come up
four.
with daily debate topics every day, there's an unlimited amount.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there
of
are.
topics. Let me tell you, you guys say Zelda only podcast. I'm like, you tell me when and where, and make sure we got twice the time because you ain't gonna stop. That's where it goes with Zelda. There's no stopping. Anyways, obviously that's gonna have to happen out in February of next year. It looks like the actual date's on a Saturday. So if we do a bonus show
Do
or
the show before.
do the show before, yeah. Make that the celebration. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I know. Joyce CJ is probably already begging to get in because
Yes, she is.
that's her favorite podcast ever. Is when we do all Zelda. Last time we did an all Zelda one was the Nintendo Prime podcast for
I think so.
Tears of the Kingdom. We did one, and obviously Tears of the Kingdom was almost a weekly topic back then, but we had other things we talked about. All right,
so it was.
So a joke question turned into a nice conversation. That's what we do here. Taker 610. Would you guys be okay with $80 for physical versions of games as long as it was available digitally for $70?
What about $70 games and 60 digital? How's that
Like
sound?
that better.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
everyone
like
does.
that.
I'm sold right there.
70's the standard, so instead of raising the standard, let's keep the standard and drop the dig.
I agree.
Right?
Isn't GTA going to raise the standard?
Yeah, most likely.
You know what, dude? That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with the global ID.
Yeah.
Dude, that
So-
is a heavy topic.
It is.
Yeah.
When I see 80 to 70, the only thing that pops in my mind is physical for Nintendo Switch 2 is just significantly more expensive. So when we talk about, like, I like the idea 70 and 60 sounds way better. But that 70 and 60 is going to be significantly less money than it would have been on Switch. So I guess it's basically asking, would you be willing to pay $10 extra to have a physical cartridge? And I think for some people that's a yes. For other people, they're going to be like, no, boo, you can't have. But I also got to remind people, like, physical tends to go on sale more often than digital. So I don't know. I don't like, okay is a strong word. I said in my video, I think today, that, you know, I'm not dumb. I know the all digital future is coming, and I'm not going to just be scared of it. It's happening. It's fine. I care about playing the games. You know, it's cool to have the collectibles. It's cool to have the physical product. But look, in the end of the day, I'm playing a video game. And I'm just here, and I'm going to get to play some sort of games till I die. So, yeah, the price doesn't matter that much in the end, as long as I really want to play the game. But it's still, I think people just are scared of that $80 price. But GTA is going so much higher than that. So, dude, I just spent $100 on Madden the other day. I can't be talking about anything about price. What's that? The backlog. I'd like to ask you, what are you doing in August?
That's a good question.
Then let me know. What are you doing in September?
Oh, how the tables have turned. I will be busy. As so will you be.
Whoa.
Well, I didn't say. I didn't specify anything.
Yeah.
Just busy times.
It'll be busy times.
Well, it can't
Yeah.
be.
Well, we're going to. He knows we're going to PAX.
Yeah.
Prime.
So yeah.
What?
I think he's referring to
Well, that's
PAX.
only like, it's like one day of September. Well, it's the PAX is August.
Semantics.
Busy across both.
Well, now I'm really confused. Is he trying to tell me the direct is dropping up between that Sunday and Monday?
Yes.
ATV said nothing.
So
I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be so upset if it drops on the 1st, because that's when I'm flying back. I'm all on the plane.
You're gonna have to get that airplane premium Wi-Fi, man.
I know. But
Right.
watch them do weird timing. So it's like, it's while I'm landing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
Right.
a quarter through the direct, and I'm refusing to get off the plane.
It's funny. I'm worried. I've
Yeah.
got a holiday in one of those 2 months, and I'm a bit worried now. I tell the wife, sorry, we can't go.
I'm sorry.
What month do you have holiday?
I can't.
When's the vacation?
I'm gonna make sure I haven't posted it anywhere else now. I don't think I have.
All right.
Anyone know where ATV is going?
Well, I don't really have any other topics to talk about because this was a bad stream for me to take a dealer's choice this late.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate all the super chats, guys. That was great. We can probably just head on out of here. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
I think we covered it because I was for the fourth topic. I did want to talk about the cartridge stuff and
we kind of
covered it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, first off, shout out to the guests that were HMK. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. Subscribe if you like what you see. Kind of a guest, but never really hear Switch Force. I'm gonna check him out as well. Shout out to him for it was his idea to do the segment. It's almost like maybe he wanted to drop that tease. I don't know. Just saying. Then we can get to the ones that are left. You poor pathetic souls.
Show some respect.
To Darren, never. Darren,
I gotta work in 6 hours.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, so do I.
Oh hell yeah!
ATV is like, I don't want to hear it.
Get right.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking, oh my god.
He's like,
It's half
sleep.
5 for me.
Poor ATV.
But no, Darren, where can people find you ever, anywhere?
Twitch.tv/Dern_television. Starting this weekend, I will be streaming Switch 2 games like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart. I'm attempting to 3-star all of the cups right now, and I'm going to be streaming that. And I also throw in a little bit of Counter-Strike on there if anyone's interested in that.
Very nice.
Original or 2?
2.
2. Okay. I thought. All right. Attack the backlog. Wink if it's August.
That was a blink. No,
I know.
That was
You see how much I concentrate when you come to me.
Anyways, what do you got going on? Where can they find you?
You can just find me on, I don't know, YouTube, X, just Attack the Backlog. I'll be on YouTube most days this week doing what's it called, the indies, and then just making some news videos and then podcasting on the weekend, and hopefully doing a Donkey Kong review with Mr. GameBird there chilling around the fire with marshmallows.
Yeah, we're gonna try and plan a campfire review. Dude, I think it was when you told me that idea, I was like, dude, this is rad. I love this. That's like the perfect use for
I can see the developers are gonna be like, oh my god, we got 2 sales.
Yeah. Oh, there goes next week's guest.
Hey, you know what? One of my subscribers, Tyler Quill, he bought it last week, and he was saying in chat that it's actually good.
Honestly,
It's
I'm
actually
excited.
fun. Yeah. Did you know you can level up your campfire? There's a leveling system for it. I was reading about it. I'm like, what? I'm gonna have to pick this up. This is interesting.
Skill trees for your s'mores. I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, shit! If you ain't a level 300 fire.
So we can't even see each other. It's just flames in between us.
All it is. Oh man, Eric.
Yes. You can find me here, except for next week. I will be out. And then you can find me on the Clips channel.
There you go. GameBird Classic.
What is up? GameBird here. You can find me on YouTube at GameBird Classic or on Twitter at @the_Birdmaster. got some content planned out. It's been a little bit slow on the channel. I've had a really busy couple weeks. Some stuff going on behind the scenes, but I got a lot of really cool stuff planned. I just got to get it finished. Hopefully, like you said, ATB, we'll be doing something really cool soon. But yeah, stay tuned. I got some cool stuff coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a man in his prime, Mr. ThunderStash Gaming.
Dude, was not expecting an introduction like that. Thank you. I'm almost speechless. Okay. So, DK Bonanza review, posted that last week. Then Eartheon, I posted the review for that over the weekend. And then I just posted yesterday my review for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. So 3 reviews, just posted. I'm working on Turbo Kid, Shadow Labyrinth, and Michaela and I need to play Mario Party Jamboree TV. We need to test that out. I will be playing Dragon Drive as well. The big N sent me a code for it during the podcast.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
shout out to Nintendo. Thank you. But yeah, this is something I was interested in. Obviously, I did an impressions video on it, and I love basketball. Clearly, so yeah, I'm excited to play that. Is anyone else playing that? By the way, anyone planning on pooping it up?
I'm waiting for your review, Stash.
You are okay.
Yeah, legitimately. Yeah, I'm legitimately waiting
After
to
the
hear your full thoughts on it.
trailer they dropped, I've been very interested. There's a lot more in the game than I thought.
Right? I knew there would be. Everyone was worried about it. I'm like, there's gonna be some more. I don't know what it is, but there'll be more. But yeah, I like how they have it set up with the lobbies and stuff. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm gonna do that the jam this weekend. It's like the early thing, just to get a feel for it. And
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I figured I could probably get some valuable stuff for my review ahead of time as well, since I'm not getting the game early. I get it on release day, but at least I could try it out early, get ahead on my review too. So yeah, hopefully I'll get that review out quick so you guys know.
All right.
Oh, what about what Shadow drops tomorrow too? Shoot, that might be something. If Hades 2 Shadow drops,
yeah.
If any of the games I mentioned Shadow drop, one of those games might make it into the reviews because I've been going ham lately, like 12 hours straight before I stand up, kind of ham.
I was hoping for the honey glaze kind, but that's fine.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Nintendo Prime. Daily news, rumor coverage. Your daily clickbaiter.
I was gonna say, do you know that for sure at this point that you are Nintendo Prime?
No, I know who I am.
Okay.
Do I know my real name? I know my pseudo name.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, like when I was doing the whole introduction thing for Stash for a moment, I was like, am I talking about myself or am I talking about him? Yeah, prime time. But no, you guys can find me right here on YouTube, Nintendo Prime. It's always Nintendo Prime on every social media. Sometimes there's an underscore, sometimes there's not. I'd say you could tell who's who by looking at the profile pictures, but I realize I'm so bad at updating my social medias. I think I have like 7 different logos.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and in the ones where it's Ninty Prime.
Yep, Ninty Prime as well. Just technically, the YouTube channel URL is Ninty Prime.
Yeah.
So somebody had the Nintendo Prime URL. Oh, that someone was me. Yeah. And YouTube wouldn't let me give it up for my actual channel. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what happens when you appropriate a Zelda website's YouTube channel. And you're like, yep, I'm going to make this into something else. Didn't work out. I don't suggest it. It's a figment of your imagination. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you same time next week.
And in the morning.
Yeah. And in the morning.
Yeah.
Indie World.
Me and Stash will be streaming the Indie World.
I'll probably be in chat.
Sweet.
Bye.